Tonight, we bring you this week's flight sim news, Tacflight's 58D, a Spad S.XIII, Washington Dulles, oh Jesus, we have some flight sim 2024 prep, and a whole lot more. Hello? Hello. Everybody, happy Wednesday. Welcome to the middle of the week, the halftime show, the midweek shuffle. Welcome to the news. Right now, loads of news. We bring you this week's Flight Sim news, and we also have some things to check out, but we're hot on the heels of the Microsoft Flight Sim official Twitch stream. There we saw many things and stuff. We saw the Pilatus Porter, the PC6. We saw the Twin Otter, a new variant, which is actually built by Builds. I didn't know that. And, well, Hans was there. Couldn't get a word in edgeways. And Jorg started it off with some interesting news, friends. You see, so Jorg announced the ongoing head-scratching moment for those who've pre-ordered the special limited edition through Aerosoft, mainly in the EU, and I think a couple of folks in Canada got covered it as well. But the good news is they have a solution. Yes. So what Jorg said, they are going to talk to Aerosoft. Aerosoft will then send an email out to those who have pre-purchased the special edition, and they shall supply them with a complimentary Game Pass code for like a month or whatever, right? And in a day or two, he said, they'll give them another code in which that'll give them full access to the Aviator edition of the sim. So just to be clear on this, anyone who did the pre-order from Aerosoft, pardon me, the pre-order from Aerosoft for the special edition, you know, the one that has like a physical setup, you get a little plane and a bag and badges. Well, the good news is Aerosoft between now and next Tuesday are going to be emailing those customers with a code that'll give them complimentary access to Xbox Game Pass. That will give you the standard edition of Microsoft Flight Simulator on day one. The only bit of a head scratcher after that is you might have to wait a day or two until you get access to the Aviator edition. But at least it is a solution, friends. At least we can get flying, right? So that's great news. Huge news and stuff. We also heard some other stuff, right? So going back to our third-party developers, pretty much all the aircraft and stuff that we buy. We're covering it on the news tonight. We have seen a few bits and bobs from developers coming out and saying, listen, you know, we're aware that there's still bugs there. We don't know, are they going to be fixed? We've asked DeSobo to say, whoop, wait, don't make our stuff don't make it available on the marketplace until we know it's 100% compatible. And that's important because, well, third-party developers, any of them, if this is going to be the first time someone will see their add-on, if it's not working as intended, well, it's not going to do them much good. It makes a lot of sense. We're expecting to see some people, join our hobby for the very first time. So it's important that everything's working very well. Jorg then said, we're going to delay the release of the marketplace for a couple of weeks, meaning that the marketplace will not function with any of the third-party aircraft. And that's to give them a little bit more time, which is fair enough. So the sim will be released, but the marketplace will follow some weeks later. Another bit of news that they gave us tonight was, the Red Bull Air Races. So we know that they've included Red Bull Air Races as part of Flight Sim 2024. Now, we've seen the Reno Air Races. They're still there, but with Red Bull, it's a little bit different. Now, Jorg is happy that the aircraft and all that jazz it's fine. I mean, they work perfectly, but Red Bull would like to come out themselves with the magnifying glass of scrutiny and make sure that everything is tickety-boo before they say, yeah, proceed. So that's going to be another delay, meaning that the Red Bull Air Races, they will be coming. They will be free as part of the standard edition of the sim, but they'll follow on a few weeks later just to give Red Bull a chance, just to make sure that everything is doing what it should do. So what are your thoughts on all of that, right? My takeaway from all of this is, number one, right? There's numbers now. Write them down. I'll be asking questions later. This is a direct reaction, if you like, or this is what happens. Whatever way the development cycle has gone for Microsoft Flight Sim 2024, whatever delayed it or whatever happened, they delayed giving third-party developers access to the sim. I mean, they literally gave them a month. 1 month, right? Wasn't it a month? Yeah, it was. It was around a month. Clearly not enough time. Therefore, the time for the third-party developers to actually get in, figure out what doesn't work, report back to Asobo, and Asobo then coming back to the table to say, yeah, we fixed it. It just wasn't enough time. Now, whatever was the reason for that, we can't help it. The jug is broken. Long live the jug. But it is what it is. The good thing is, though, that, well, they're listening, lads. They're actually listening, which is great, because you can imagine the pressures to say, listen, we have these targets, we gotta release it, right? But they seem to be waiting. Okay, listen, the core sim, it's as good as we can get it right now. Let's release that. The marketplace with the third-party add-ons, they're not there yet. Let's wait. Let's hold that one for a while, and it's going to be the same at Red Bull. Thought it was interesting because, I mean, the pressures must have been savage. But yeah, it all came through the delay of, giving third-party developers access. Now, some third-party developers, well, they're laughing. Their stuff works as intended. Others, there's a couple of fixes to be made. And then we have others that Jorg kind of said, they made their own custom code to work around things. He mentioned Hans Hartmann, but I reckon Raoul is in that list as well. And Parallel 42, for that matter. Anyone who kind of came up with new ways of getting around the SDK. And it's understandable, right? I mean, Asobo, they know their SDK. They don't know if people have coded it or, made their own kind of mods to work around it, which makes sense, right? So they're going to delay it, but I don't think, is it a huge problem to do? My understanding is if you have add-ons outside of the marketplace, you can pop them into My Library, which is essentially your community folder. And, well, let's see what happens, because we know a lot of developers are working on their aircraft and they're going to have patches coming soon. I think, to get the best enjoyment, if you like, out of the new sim, keep it vanilla, or at least keep it as vanilla as you can. And what I mean by that is keep the thing original. I wouldn't be mad adding in third-party content just in case it could break something. It could destabilize, or maybe your third-party add-ons they're not working the way they're supposed to work. Do you know what I mean? But the good news, and I'm going to say it, the silver lining, friends, is there's a lot of content shipping with Flight Sim 2024. I mean, the sheer amount of aircraft, right? There's a ton of stuff. Then you have all the different kind of features, game features, career mode, the virtual tourist. But even for free flight, I mean, there's a lot there to keep us busy. And, if you're jonesing to get into your Phoenix or your BMDG stuff or whatever, 2020 isn't going anywhere. It's still there. It's still going to be working. So you have these options, at least for the initial kind of launch. That's Gus kind of caught up. That's what they said. That's what they spoke about. But yes, what do you think? Good, bad, doesn't really matter. The good news, the major news is for those who pre-purchased the special edition. I mean, they were pretty much left. I'm one of them. We were left saying, Jesus, we're not going to get the AmSim after, you know what I mean? So the good news is that's now sorted, right? So, friends, what else have we to chat about? Oh, yeah, so tonight, brand new helicopter in the sim from a crowd called Tacflight. Big shout out to Colonel Fork here. He kind of put me onto it. He said, Murph, this is kind of good. And I looked at it, and then I bought it, and I downloaded it, and I installed it, and then I flew it. And I gotta say,
you haven't a clue what you're doing.
Shut up, you. There's a lot of cool features with this aircraft. It needs a couple of tweaks here and there, but for me, I think this is truly extraordinary. Some of the features they've managed to put in with this aircraft in Flight Sim 2020, I think it's brilliant. Do you know? And then, friends, CaptainSim, right? Them fellas, they've started off on a new WW1 Collection. It's this brand new product line that they're going to be working on. And the first aircraft is the Spad S.XIII. I think my Roman numerals are correct. And that's a brand new biplane from the First World War. We'll be checking that one out as well. And then in the midst of all of this, I will, Colonel Fork, I absolutely will. In the midst of all of this, there's a brand new release of Washington Dulles Tower. So Dulles, Kilo India Alpha Delta. This one was released by BMWorld and AmSim. And, well, it's published through, it's not even published, it's sold through the Innybills store, right? And there's a bit of drama around this, right? Because there's fingers being pointed all over the shop. Flightbeam, there's a story, Flightbeam are saying, hey, this crowd, well, let us tell you something about this crowd called BMWorld and AmSim. Anyway, there's all sorts of accusations about, you know, there was piracy early on and they're copying what we're doing on our roadmap. We'll eventually get to the bottom of it. There's nothing like a bit of flight sim drama. But to be fair, Innybills put out a statement to say, hey, listen, we're going to look into it. We don't put up with any sort of piracy or acting the maggot altogether. Yes, they sell the product currently on their website, but once they get factual evidence of what's going on, well, then they'll take appropriate action. So that was Innybills going, Jesus, that's the drama I suppose you have when you run a storefront. But we're going to check out the scenery anyway tonight. I mean, it is for sale. You can pick it up. So we'll check it out and see what you think. But yeah, there's a whole load of drama around it, which is mad. Do you know? Then, in other massive, cool, brilliant news, have you seen the latest update from Navigraph? I have it on the screen here behind me, right? Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. We'll be checking that one out. It adds in traffic being supplied by VATSIM and IVAO. It'll show you the traffic, it'll show you the flight plans, it'll show you the controllers, it'll show you the controlled airspace. It's a free update for Navigraph charts. It's incredible. Navigraph are asking for as much feedback as possible. It's, you know, they've released it as a beta, right? And it's there if you want it. Just do an update on your Navigraph charts. You can mess around with it. But I think it's really, really cool. It's something extremely powerful to have within Navigraph charts because it's one less thing to worry about. It's one less screen to have open. Do you know what I mean? And then, friends, to top it all off, you know, we're going to be talking flights in 2024, but not necessarily the sim, not at all. Tonight, I'm going to spend a bit of time on, well, some of the preparations I have done to get my system ready and waiting for when they release the sim next Tuesday. And that comes down to some window settings I found helpful. There's a bit of software there that works really nice. I find, you know, cleans things up and gets things ready. There's also the brand new, officially out of beta, the Nvidia app. And for those of you with Nvidia cards, this is brilliant. And it's their latest drivers, 566, I think. Their latest drivers have actually added in some enhancements, which are technically built for Flight Sim 2024. So we're going to be checking that one out as well. And then a tip of the cap to Cyrus, because he mentioned this some weeks ago, a way of mapping all of your controls, all of them, all your inputs, be it on your keyboard, your mouse, your joystick, whatever. Well, there's a very handy tool that we can grab, we can use, and we can save all our settings. If even reading them off a spreadsheet or a PDF, it just means come Flight Sim 2024, it'll help us get our controls set up a lot faster. So we're going to be looking at that as well. And of course, the infamous add-ons linker. And we'll also talk about symbolic drives. Did you ever hear a symbolic drive? We'll have an old chat about those because I think these will be important, in particular when it comes to your rolling cache or maybe your community folder. Basically what it is, a symbolic drive, you can have like a soft or a hard junction. Effectively what it is, lads, it is an advanced way of creating a shortcut to a folder. So, you know the way you can have like, okay, I want all my scenery on this hard drive because, you know, it's a standard hard drive, but it's like 6 terabytes or whatever. But my sim is running on an SSD, yeah? Well, a lot of people just do what's called a shortcut. Okay, well, just pretend that folder's actually here. Now, that's grand and all, but it's not the fastest way for Windows to actually pull the data. There is a better way of doing it, and it's called a symbolic drive. So I'm going to talk about that as well. So there's lots going on, lads. There's lots going on, but definitely exciting. I mean, this day next week, we're going to be right in the middle of flying somewhere in Flight Sim 2024. It's very, very exciting. And the stream tonight didn't exactly paint it in a Bob Ross kind of a brush. Do you know what I mean? It looked clunky. It looked a little bit kind of, Jesus. And Hans, well, do you know, I mean, there's no doubt about it. The man is a gifted developer, but it can be hard to watch. A bit like myself, I can be hard to watch. So a tip of the cap to Chewy there, because you know what I mean, to keep everything moving and all this sort of jazz. But there's no doubt Hans is, well, you can see by him, I mean, he knows his aircraft and he makes some cracking aircraft as well. So yeah, great stuff there. But also, you know, so, with all that said, friends, right? Brilliant. Today is Wednesday, which means it's almost Friday, and I'm off all next week. Yes, friends, I'm off all next week, and I've no electricity on Tuesday because the electricity supply board furnished this letter to say your electricity is turned off on Tuesday. You may have heard that sound yesterday or on Monday. You know, sounded like, that was me, right? That was me. But anyway, we'll go into the chat here briefly. Now, for anyone who's new here, you're very welcome. It's great to see you. Pull up an old chair, right? I'd be sitting here talking to a teleprompter. It's actually very strange looking. Oh, Jesus, I'm after break. Why is that broken? I'm after completely breaking. Well, I can't fix that. I'll turn on this one instead. That's the back of my head cam. Yeah, I'll show you now, look. If I go to this screen here, well, do you see me teleprompter, look? Can I move stuff up and down? You can kind of see the screen. That's the screen I look at. It's terrible sad, isn't it? But sure, listen, I mean, someone has to do it, you know? And then we'll go back to this camera and then we'll go back to me. I'm after breaking my other camera. That's brilliant. But anyway, as I said, you're all very welcome in. And we'll go into the chat here now and we say good evening. For those of you who are new,
Jesus.
This will literally take 2.5 minutes. About 2.5 minutes, right? Quick, we get into it. Colonel Fork, first into the chat. He says, when Murphy hits 15,000 followers on Twitch, he'll go full-time streaming. Could you imagine me full-time, though? It's not that feckin' idiot on the telly again. Turn it off. I'd have to plan me streams around the 9 o'clock news. Do you know?
That's a big 10-4, good buddy.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to the news. Top stories this hour. A man with a face talks to a camera. I think it'd be brilliant. But anyway, who else is here? To Blaze, a very happy Wednesday. Fierce Wolf, looking fierce. And Wolfie, welcome aboard. Vacuum is in the house. Black Ice Gabe, we have a Black Ice Gabe. He says, happy hump day to all my friends. It's time for the news with our raving, should be roving, reporter Murph. Brilliant. P.S. Mirandai, hello there. Good to see you, man. Willow, how much? Quaggy UK, APU Inspector. Very good evening to you guys. Vivid Clarity, did you like the tunage? I played that myself. On the keyboard and the spoons. But you're very welcome in. Retriever Neil is here. He says, only 2 more days of work than a week's holiday. I wonder what he'll do. Retriever Neil is going to go straight into Farm Sim. There's no doubt. Super Ty is here. He says, the twatter that was shown has some promise, but the thing that grinds my ears, you know what grinds my ears? The sounds. Sounds like I had a 5-blade prop instead of a 3-blade prop. Ooh, Jesus. The forgetful Larry is in the house. Larry is literally after coming up for air because he's been straight in with all the Farm Sim. He says, dramatic music much. I've all the dramatic music. But yes.
10-4, good buddy.
Brilliant. Who else is here? Aaron Priest, good to see you, man. One of my favourite tracks. Nice. Swap21, hola. Welcome aboard. 98 Vulcan is here. Mr. Scoo, very happy Wednesday. Nightsep, good evening to you, sir. Why can yes? Great Scots, he says. I nearly went Scottish. Great Scott, Marty. He says it's Wednesday, time for the news. Welcome aboard, man. Poor old Mr. Dan was instantly botted. Instantly. Poor old Dan. Jan Drace is here, good evening. Thub42, is he going to be in darkness and spin around in his chair? I read that during the intro and I actually tried to. Legit. Hang on. I mean, right, I could... Jesus, the puppet. I mean, I could have been done. I tried to do it, but then it just... Right, I blame Thub for that. Why is me... I'm getting all interference with the... Right, do you know? Jesus. Thub just got botted, look. Brilliant. Fantastic news, lads. Thub, don't mind the bots, they're mad and drunk. But anyway, who else is here?
Dreamy, sleepy, nighty, snoozy, snooze.
Jesus. Who else is here? Jan Dre's, good to see you. Shuffle Shoes shuffles in. AJH John, you're welcome aboard. Aim in 1973. One sim life ends while another is about to be born. Those are words of wisdom. Brilliant. Right, we're over here now, look. PH Roy, very good evening to you. Retriever Neil says, this time next week we could all be 8 hours into Murph stream. I mean, right, it'll happen, right? Toto, good to see you, man. Now, where's this? 5 streams for Super Tie. It should have been 50. Jesus. Spitfire RAF 100 is in the chat. Good to see you, man. Soaring AJ. AJH. Hope all is well. Tarnish Mossman, good to see you. Little Trader is here. Paparazzi, good evening. Greetings from Texas. Anxiety awaiting the news. 6 days. We can't wait. This time next week, CTDs, updates and reinstalls. That's the spirit, Quaggy. Sure. Wait, where did that thing go? That's weird. My camera turned off. Oh, no, it didn't. Never mind, lads. I'm playing with toys I shouldn't. Anyway, who else is here, look? Mick Ham, good evening. Proby Pete, good to see you. Arizona, a beautiful 80 degrees Fahrenheit. Jesus. Good to see you, man. Sun Jammer's here. Hi all, and the tension is at an all-time high. People's nails are down to their fingertips. People now with lack of sleep. We await and pray. Indeed, Sunjammer. Viper Strike, good to see you. Psy120's in the house. Isidious, good evening to you. Lead Ballooner, welcome in. Vacuum. High five, because himself and Viper Strike 5 streams in a row. Thank you very much, lads. Now, let me see. Tripwired, happy Wednesday. Where's this now? Helric, a very good evening, Murph and chat. Happy top of the week to you. Good to see you, Helric. You're looking well. Mr. Zed Rider, evening to all those present and you, Murph. Dan, thank you. You're looking well. AZ Blue Line, good to see you. Hope all is well with yourself. Echo Charlie, welcome in. Flying Trits is here. Hiya, Murph and chat. Hope all fully well and praying for a reliable release date for you know what. Indeed. Dougal McTavish, the chairman. What are you up to now? About 1 minute and 30, is it? Welcome in, Dougal. Hope you're well, man. Right, now, Flying Trits, hi again. SK Sun, good evening. Jesus, lads, it's busy. Goblin Zeus, he says, I want to see the French Spad, one of the best World War I fighter planes. I think you're going to enjoy it. Right, now, Rad Baron, welcome in. Oz Nomad is here. 23 months. Go on, 5 days, 19 hours. Thank you very, very much indeed, my guy, for all the support. Insane. I am Craigo, thank you for the follow. Liptorius is here. Bill Barrett, good evening. Fornax is here as well. Sergeant Beast, hope you're well. Hope you're well. John C, good to see you. Strap says, so what you're saying is it should be called Microsoft Flight Sim 2025. Well, I mean, do you know, they're cutting it close, aren't they? Roy says maybe they had to release the SDK in September as promised. Yeah, it was just got delayed, you know. Ailerons into wind is here. Stuart's like, Microsoft Flight Sim delayed? Well, I never would have expected that. Well, it's not delayed. Just some of the features are. Yeah. It'd be grand. B. Carlo, good to see you. Prime subscription for 30 months, man. Thank you very, very much indeed. I hope you're well. I've got the Premium Deluxe Edition. I couldn't stretch to the Aviator Edition, says Quaggy. That's quite okay. I mean, look, once the marketplace is live, you can, if you choose to, you can buy individual aircraft, but once they're released, you know, handy. Zybok Doc calling from Denmark. Hello from Tipperary. I hope you're keeping very well indeed. Martel is in the house. Goblin Zeus says, it is obvious we must wait for some third-party planes. There's a lot of works, I imagine. Yeah, I think so. One A2A say their products work completely in 2024, then I'll grab it. If not, or not in any rush for it. I remember the drama of bugs of 2020. Yeah, so A2A, AccuSim, there's a lot of stuff already working just fine. There's a couple of small little bugs, but I'm sure the lads will get on top of it. Will the multiplayer be the same? I think so, Coggy. Yes, I think so. As long as the base sim works, that'll do for me, says Retriever Neil. Indeed. Energizer, good to see you, man. Energizer, I read your comment last night and then I sent it to, well, them, and then they made an L thing. So thank you, Energizer, for providing some news. Muse Van is here. Oh, I missed half my message. Happy hump day. Muse, what sort of an introduction is that at all? You're supposed to be saying how he is mad jokes is. That's what Muse Fan says to everyone. I've seen him in public. He stops people on the road. That's the sign of rolling down your window. Does anyone still have manual roll down windows? Are they all gone electric? That's how you used to roll down a window, you know? Or if you had a Volkswagen Polo like I did, the first one, you'd roll it down and your arm would be friggin' massive and then it would break. Small but tough. But the window regulator on the Volkswagen Polos, well, the Germans all stood around in the corner and they said, and how can we have some serious crack and really make people scratch their heads and wonder why this is happening? Ah, yes, we will make a defective window regulator just for the Volkswagen Polo. Right-hand drive. That's what they did. But anyway, good to see you. News fan, you're looking well. Who else is here, look? Vincy, happy Wednesday. Now, we're catching up. Bill Barrett says, it was very cool. I checked it out today on a VATSIM flight. Yes, the Navigraph stuff is awesome. Sergeant B says, I'm waiting for my new RAMs for FlightSim 2024. Hope getting it before release. RAMs as in random access memory, as in RAM for your PC. Nice. Shunty Mac, Shuntface is here. Symbolic. Yes, symbolic. Singular, right? Brilliant. We're over here, look. I'm running 16 gigs at the moment. I've now ordered 64. Ah, nice, okay. Old Veteran 965 waving hello from San Antonio, Texas. Welcome aboard, Scott. Hope you're keeping very well. Excessively Salty is here. I'm hoping having 2 separate copies of the Sim add-on linker will work. Should do, right? Hans did the best he could. He was nervous. Oh, no, I get that. But he was nervous the last time. Like, who makes these decisions? That's what I mean. Like, he's an incredibly gifted developer, but when it comes to showcasing, me personally, I walked away from the sim going, Jesus, I hope it's going to be ready. Because we saw some bugs, right? It was clanky and clunky, and there wasn't enough, by the way, this is pre-release, this is the tech alpha for the SDK only, so expect to see some weirdness. We weren't told that, so you're looking at it going, right? But anyway, all is well. We know it's going to be fine, lads. And Hans has done some incredible work. As I said, he got Anybills to build the model, I think, of the Twin Otter. Another company worked on the floats, and he did the interior. Pretty mad. There's a lot of work gone into that. But anyway, Osnomad says, I trod on a rake the other day and bruised my symbolic. Brilliant. Imagine JPG is here. I can speak English, sure. Welcome in. Who else is here now? Tim PPI. Thank you for the follow. QC Frank, late in on the party. I just acquired a 45-inch ultra-wide. Nice. Frank, is it up and running? New chair. No, there's no new chair. I took the cover off the other chair. The Rosie chair. But no, it's not new. Ryan is here. He says, I'm off next week too. Nice. Super Tie is more like 25 minutes. What are you talking about? We're literally only 2 minutes into it. Krabby1, good to see you. Charlie B, subscribing 11 months. Thank you very, very much indeed for all the support. Dowler is in the house. Good to see you. Belbro says, how are you, Murph, in chat? I was thinking I was rambling in. Late again. Happy hump day. Good to see you, man. Hope all is well. QC Frank subscribing for 19 months with Prime. Frank, thank you very, very much indeed. And, well, I hope you're keeping very well. And with your fancy new telly. Right, now we're nearly there. Dazza T. Arab. He says, hello, fellow Murph Ties. Or Murphites. Murph Ties. Dazza, good to see you. You're looking well. Is that a new eyebrow design?
Hello there.
Right, the features I pick up on the features. It's great to see you though. Quaggy, indeed, idle cut off. Howdy. Thub says it was my fault for a moat laughing too much. Brilliant. Hanger Studio 713, welcome in. He says all you need now with that chair is a bald cat to pet as you turn. Welcome to my secret underground lair, Mr. Bigglesworth. Do you ever notice how Dr. Evil sounds like Swiss 001? Microsoft Flight Simulator. He needs a bald cat Jesus, don't take that out of context. Right, we're over here. Adam Controls is in the house. Good to see.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
Jesus, good to see you, Adam. Hope all is well. Evening, lads. Adam, did you see the update for Navigraph? Jesus. Iowa Scotsman, good evening to you, man. Good day. Now, let me see. Callison is here. Good evening to you. Wired Lad, happy Wednesday. B. Carlos says, I just received my 9800 X3D. Ooh, I'm going to wait to upgrade until after the new sim comes out so I can post the results of going from a 5800 X3D with 32 gigs of RAM to the 9800 X3D with 64 gigs of RAM. I predict you'll do well. Oh yeah? I predict you'll do well. Vashko from MSFS Add-ons is in the house, my dude. Vashko, hope you're keeping very well. There's drama all over the place, Vashko, but I hope you're keeping well. Manual windows, pardon me, I'm after burping live on the telly. Did you hear it? Ah, Jesus, excuse me, pardon me for being rude. Wasn't me, it was me food. It just popped up to say hello, and now it's gone back down below, baby. I burped! That's the second time I've done that. That's the second time I've burped on a international broadcast. I feel ashamed. I feel embarrassed. I've brought shame on the house of Murphy and to all at Murph Manor. We had Chinese for dinner tonight, a traditional Irish dish. It was lovely, right? I had chicken balls with fried rice and sauce. I had orange sauce. It's a thing, right? Very unusual. But anyway, Big Harlow, yeah, best of luck with that, man. Tarna says, only on your Skoda. Wait, what? Right, Jesus. Glad to be of help. Wait, you didn't send it to the Irish Rozzers, did you? It'd be grand, right? Right, Canoe Head 2 is here. Hello from a windy western Canada. 60 knots of wind consolidate, or is that considered windy? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Frank says the monitor is arriving tomorrow. Aha. Airman, is good to see you. I see Spad in the title. So Airman is actually an aeroplane. The Spad S.XIII, I believe, or the S.13, I think it is. But yes, Jesus. Daz Higgy, good to see you. Then Quaggy gifted 5 tier 1 subs like a madman. A madman. 5 gifted tier 1 subs to everyone here on Twitch. Thank you all, or thank you very much indeed. Lads, if you just received a tier 1 sub with thanks to Quaggy, do be sure to say thank you. Right, this, chicken balls along with symbolics, yeah? I just see what you did, Dougal, and I've read it out loud. Ah, no! Jesus, someone needs to change the rating. That's fantastic. Brilliant. How long have I been doing this? I never get caught out. I always stop myself. Now I haven't. I got cut out. I got myself out. Jesus, it's a tough crowd tonight. Rambog Mortis here. Good to see you, man. Ducks is in the house. DCS Ducks. Welcome aboard. Adam Control says, yup, I updated Navigraph while I was on earlier. I didn't need Euroscope anymore. No way. Is it that accurate? Jesus. That's great news. Burp TV, right? Break out the emergency Guinness. Whatever the flight sim problem, the answer is always Biggles. Indeed it is. Wombat49 is in the house. Good to see you. Some say it was made by the Irish. Yes. I'm going to have to go to a second level of retirement to keep up with all the goings on in Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. Yeah. Right? Chinese was invented by the Irish, I hear. It actually was, right? Chinese takeaway. It was. We were there first. I bet we're just at the start of a whole new Flight Sim drama season that will go well into the new year. I would think so, yes. Did the Irish invent the Chinese takeaway? Yes. Sweet and sour, some orange. Jesus, I can't read half of these. Where are the chicken? No, quiet. Right. Did you see the announcement from Milviz? Yes, we have it here. Well, wait, Milviz or Miltech? Jandrace, was it Miltech you mean? Right, now. Anyway, that was 2.5 minutes. We'll quickly jump into our viewers here on YouTube. You're very good for keeping, like, for just even hanging around. Do you know, you're probably saying, does he ever stop talking? Usually towards the end, right? But anyway, who's here? Look, Virtual Flight Diaries, hello. Podge is in the house. Podge has checked in.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
Jesus, there's more buttons. Podge, welcome in. Uniform Goose, good to see you, Goose. You're looking well, my man. Jacobs is here in Colorado. Bubbles, at ease. Smoke 'em if you got. What was that they used to say, Bubbles? Break out in pairs. Smoke 'em if you got them. Yeah, fall out in trees. Do you remember it now? David Cleary, good evening. Tizzy Tactics, welcome aboard. Jack M is in the house. Cato, good evening. Franco for flying. Welcome aboard, man. Sticky Rice is here. Welcome aboard. Phil the Fridge. How are you, Phil? Steve Stavaros. Evening, Mr. Two-Tone. Hope you're well. Greetings from Yorkshire. Well, thank you very much indeed. Greetings from Tipperary. Spiner is here. Monty says, how do you transfer 2020 purchase planes to 2024 on Xbox? It should do it automatically, Monty, if you're on the Xbox, do you know? Spiner, I hope you're well. TG Sims is here. Trevor, welcome aboard. Patrick Doyle, good evening. Dave Hudson, I got you as me co-pilot and say intentions. Oh, Jay. Oh, God, really? Did you find the mute button yet? It's important. Thrustset Simulations, good evening. Stephen is here. The Isle of Man Icy here. You're very welcome aboard. Delta Bravo, happy Wednesday. Right. Majid, hello. You took days off? Sweet. Leonardo Da Vinci. Welcome up. I love that name. It's brilliant. Hope you're well. Stillian, good to see you. Hello from Bulgaria. Hello from Tipperary. I hope you're well. Stevie, hello from a sunny Tenerife. Tenerife. I was in Tenerife before. We drove up to Mount Tieda. Then my car got impounded. David Cleary, yes, farting next, right? What? Mayday, good to see you. They've been pirating flight sim airports and re-releasing them. That's the drama. Yes, that's the drama. Nutty Slack, good evening. John Bran is here. Does the Spad work with GSX? Someone had to ask. Brilliant. Right, lads. Now that we have... Oh, Jesus. Now that we have all day... Oh, no, there was more stuff, look. Yeah, just 2.5 minutes. Sorry, not sorry. Yeah, thanks, Dougal. That'll go down in the history books. Do you remember the time Dougal said that about chicken balls and a symbolic drive? And Murphy said chicken balls and sim. Thanks, Dougal. 2.5 minutes indeed. Classified, good to see you. Dazza T Arab then gifting 5 tier 1 subs to the community because the man is mad. Thank you very, very much indeed, Dazza. Lads, if you just got a tier 1 sub on Twitch with thanks to Dazza T Arab, I'll do be sure to say thank you. Very, very kind of you. Miltech, yes indeed, John Race, we'll be chatting about that. His talk speed doubles if he bumps a mountain. Kozaki Flyer, welcome in. Murph, you are an awesome dude. Love the personality. Thanks very much. Right. That's when you see, before the stream. Hey, Classified, do us a favour there, will you? Just, at around 8:42, just drop in a no comment, Say I'm deadly or something. That's how that didn't work. Brilliant. I was watching Alison the other night. I was surprised that Murph was able to tell her all the interesting things and stuff. You could tell it was AI though. He didn't mention. He didn't mention the Romans once. Wait, what? Jesus. Right. Shall we begin? Turn off the light. Wait now, did I fix this? Almost. Brilliant! It's a transition, lads. It's a transition. Right, we'll come over here to this screen. That's right, you lucky people. Here we are looking at a helicopter, and it looks beautiful and mad and deadly. And we'll be getting into this now in a moment. Whack-a-mo, good evening. So we're going to start off, as we always do, friends, with the news. But we will be checking out this chopper shortly. Then we're going to be checking out an airplane, an airport, and of course we're going to be going into all the get your system ready for Flight Sim 2024. Do stick around because hopefully you'll learn something, and well, let's see what happens. Human says, do you think the 4070 is sufficient for VR in Flight Sim 24? Yes, it is. Very sufficient, right? Now, over to the news, friends. Are we ready? And a big shout out to all our friends who provide the news. We have MSFS Add-ons.com. Vashko is here in the chat. We also have Callum and the lads over at FS Elite as well. And a big shout out to the guys over at Threshold. Brilliant stuff, right? The damn Thrustmaster yoke sits so far down it squashes your... Brilliant. Right, now that's enough of that. The global launch time. So Microsoft has said, all right, this is when we're releasing the thing with the yoke. So November 19th, that's Tuesday, next Tuesday. And we have the release dates for all the areas. You can see them here. So in all your local timings, if you're on this side of the pond, be it in Ireland, England, we're talking 1600 local time, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. If you're in this side of Europe, it'll be 5 o'clock. And then depending on your location on the planet, they are the times right there. And the carrier is going to, it's through the App Store or the Microsoft Store, Xbox, and also Steam. So this is going to be the release times of the sim. So we'll all be sitting there at 4 o'clock saying, refresh. That's the plan, right? That's the plan. Ryan D. Walker, just the usual 5 minutes. Yeah, 5 minutes this time. Yeah, brilliant. And right, so the global arrival times, this is when Flight Sim 2024 is set to release. So have a look at where you are located on the planet. Find your nearest location to that, right? And then that's the time it's going to be made available. Fair enough? Fair enough. Now, news this week, Flight Sim Labs. Do you remember Flight Sim Labs? Well, Flight Sim Labs have hinted an upcoming release for Microsoft Flight Simulator, and it looks to be the Airbus A321. Huzzah! Another Airbus. Today, FS Labs found itself in the spotlight as a surprise leak revealed details about the anticipated Airbus A321 CEO, or the CEO, for Microsoft Flight Sim. A placeholder website briefly appeared showing images of the upcoming aircraft, sparking a wave of speculation across the community. Patrick, thank you very much for the follow. Now, lads, if you don't know who FS Labs are, they are a very legacy. They have a lot of legacy. They're a developer who has made aircraft in the past, and some of them are of the highest quality. They are very, very detailed, right? So there would be naturally a lot of excitement, in particular when it comes to the airliner pilots, because anyone who flew the FS Lab stuff in, P3D, well, you know what you're getting yourselves into here. This is a very high caliber developer, right? According to the leaked details, the 321 package is set to include both wingtip fence and charter variants, with options for CFM and IAE engines. This makes FS Labs A321 another highly detailed addition to the Airbus family in Microsoft Flight Simulator, aiming to stand alongside, or perhaps even challenge, the existing offerings from Phoenix. Community response has been divided. Many are eager to see FS Labs bring an established Airbus expertise to the sim. Others question the decision to focus on a CEO variant, especially when demand for the Neo remains high. And of course, it's a question, another Airbus, right? The unexpected reveal ended up promoting FS Labs founder, Lefteris, is it? To step in and share some additional preview images. They noted that some of the leaked details must still be placeholders, urging the community to reserve final judgment until the official information is provided. Despite this, the development signaled that FS Labs is making significant progress towards bringing its A321 to the sim. Scarebus, right? FS Labs will most likely release the CEO and Neo. Yeah, there you go, nice one. Wasn't it FS Labs that gave us what many called malware? Yeah, it was. So effectively what they did, they put some sort of a trigger in their activation that it knew that you were online. It was yeah. It didn't go down terribly well. Twice. Almost certain it was twice they did it. Yeah, it didn't go down well. It was their way to combat piracy. They put spyware on PCs. People didn't like that at all, Patrick, good man yourself. Testing 1-2. We read you 5x5. First with the PMDG, MD11, and then the FS Lab stuff. Yeah. Microsoft Airbus Simulator. Yeah, there's a lot of them coming out, isn't there? Listen, anyone who likes FS Labs from the P3D days, you know the crack with these. They're very, very detailed. Insanely so. In particular when it came to the systems, right? Let's see. There's so much competition now. So much competition. So we'll have to wait and see. But interesting news anyway. Great stuff, Vasco, for breaking that news. Now, PMDG also launched a new document center with easy access to all its manuals and its tutorials. An important move to streamline how users access documentation for their high-fidelity aircraft with the launch of the PMDG Document Center. The new hub gathers all the manuals, tutorials, and support files for the current lineup in the sim, including that of the DC-6, the 737, and 777, all in one accessible place. Previously, PMDG's documentation bundled directly within the product's folder, where you had to go digging for it, which worked for PC simmers but left Xbox and cloud users without getting access. Now, the new setup at manuals.pmdg.com has addressed this limitation, allowing Xbox users for the first time to review the manuals. The change also means that PMDG can update documents more efficiently. For instance, after the recent release of the 777, they were able to issue 22 updates to the manuals within just 2 weeks. Super stuff. So it's a nice little quality of life thing from PMDG. Sounds suspiciously like the work of Matthias. But anyway, moving on, Inibills, providing us with a development update on their Airbus A350 for Microsoft Flight Sim. I've got to say, this thing does look very nice. Why isn't it letting comments through again? Stupid thing. Hang on. There, it should work now, Dougal. Allow. No, it keeps coming back to say not allow. Basically, what Dougal was saying, they shot themselves in the foot. I need to go back through the bot. It's stupid.
Oh, Jesus.
Jesus is right. But anyway, look at the cut of the cockpit here, the flight deck. Isn't that beautiful looking? Stunning. Anybuilds have shared a new update regarding the highly anticipated A350, currently in development exclusively for FlightSim 2024. Initially announced to be on track for a late 2024 release, the team has reiterated its commitment to delivering an aircraft that meets a new standard for the company, emphasising quality over strict deadlines. While a delay of a month or two is possible, the team is confident in the project's steady progress and determination to get it done right. The statement also highlights that December will bring a wave of A350 dedicated content, offering the community an in-depth look of what is to come. Anybuilds plans to showcase various previews and feature demonstrations, giving users a closer look at the details and systems of the aircraft. Now, if you're not familiar with it, the A350, not at all terribly popular in flight sim, because I think it's quite difficult to get the accurate information from the aircraft. You have to rely heavily on pilots. It's a new airplane, right? And I suppose, am I right in saying, lads, the 350 is kind of the Airbus answer to the Dreamliner, I think, right? Very, very modern, all glass, but even from these screenshots, I mean, it looks incredible. It really, really does. Following the recent addition to airliners in FlightSim 2024, including the Airbus A330, all variants, including the Beluga, the A400, the 321 LR, and the A320neo, even the A310, well, the majority of the Anybuilds team have now shifted focus to complete the A350 project. As a teaser, Anybuilds shared an early work in progress image of an Emirates EK359 preparing for boarding at Dubai. It's a stunning preview image of the flight deck. Well, not final, it offers a glimpse into what the A350 will be like on release. It does look stunning. Look at the lighting. I mean, look at the cut of it, lads. Isn't it gorgeous? Stunning. Absolutely stunning. So we'll have to wait and see how that goes. Now, a new classic airliner. We're sticking with Anybuilds because they put out a bit of a teaser, right? For 2025, another project, and it looks to be that of the L1011 TriStar. The Lockheed TriStar, the retro triple-engine beauty that many simmers have been waiting to see in the sim, well, it seems that Anybuilds are finally answering the call. They dropped a teaser on Instagram and looks suspiciously like the TriStar. Specifically, it seems to depict an L1011 currently resting at the Royal Saudi Air Force Museum, and Anybuilds hasn't explicitly said TriStar, but based on the photos and the collective detective work of the online sim community, the clues are all but confirmed. TriStar isn't exactly your run-of-the-mill twin jet that's come to define air travel. The TriStar came from a time that where planes were, let's say, a bit extra. A tri-engine, 3 engines, right? Also had a unique S duct intake and the unmistakable tail-mounted third engine. You all know the MD-11. Well, the TriStar was Lockheed's kind of answer, or even before it. It's the perfect plane for all those try-hards amongst us who love a challenge and a retro aesthetic. Honestly, it's exciting to think that how Anybuilds will bring this bit of aviation history to life. It does look pretty good. I remember, wasn't there a TriStar in X-Plane, I think? Incredible, right? Not much beyond that, no release date, but we know it's going to be coming sometime next year. Anybuilds have an absolute barrel load of stuff coming out, right? Also said, I also had the first Autoland system commercially, Dendarian. Wow. A350 better than the 787, says Roblox Close? Sure. Like the 787, the Dreamliner is grand. If I had to pick, and I love Boeing, I prefer Boeing. If I had to pick between the 350 or the Dreamliner, I'd probably go with the A350. Do you know? Flyer 10, good to see you. But yeah, I mean, look, at a TriStar, this is going to be great news, right? Now, here's an aircraft we're checking out this evening. No, it didn't. The Hawker Siddeley Trident was the first commercial Autoland. Now, put that in your sandwich and eat it. Is it? The Hawker Siddeley Trident. There you are. There you go. I sit corrected. Man, Dougal. No, hang on. Shag off, Dougal. You got me in trouble earlier on with mentioning chicken balls and things. The Hawker Siddeley. Do you remember those? Didn't they make the 125? Do you remember the Hawker Siddeley 125? right? It's contested. Jesus. Anyway, lads, look at this. CaptainSim, they've released the Spad S.XIII from Microsoft Flight Sim. It's a World War I French-built aircraft. And this is a new line, a new product line from CaptainSim. The Spad was a French biplane used primarily during the First World War, and introduced in 1917, became one of the most effective and widely used biplane fighters of the war. Almost 8,500 of the type were built, making it one of the most produced fighters of the First World War. And, well, there's a lot of features with it. We'll go through it when we go to test it out here now in a little bit, right? In a little bit. But CaptainSim's Spad features a highly detailed and accurate 3D model, high-resolution 8K textures, 3 high-level detail liveries, an authentic cockpit and instrument layout, functional gauges and controls, nimble flight model, toggable immersion options such as wing damage, fuselage damage, wheel chocks, tie-down ropes, body panels, and more. Ew! Look at some of the pictures here, look. I've got to say, it's kind of a nice-looking machine. Does it have an interior? It does! It does! Made out of wood. I gotta say, I'm kind of excited for this because we don't have many World War I aircraft, naturally. But yeah, I'm jonesing to see this. This is going to be like, you know what I mean? We're going to check this one out on the stream anyway tonight. If anyone is asking the questions, you can purchase this aircraft from CaptainSim website. It's priced at around $13. $13, right? So yeah. Now, in saying that, it comes with like a handful of liveries and then they charge you another $5 for like more liveries. Anyway, we're going to be checking it out on the sim here now in a few moments. News from Horizon Simulations. They've entered a new partnership with Orbex. The team at Horizon announced on their Discord they are now part of the Orbex partner family. The partnership enables Horizon Simulations to seamlessly integrate their current products and make their 787-9 and other products available for both PC and Xbox users. All current freeware editions will remain free on Orbex Direct and Orbex Central, including the upcoming 787X and the 747-8F, the freighter mod, and a large selection of liveries, and so on and so on. This is pretty good, right? Moving forward, all previously released content from Horizon Simulations will now be available to download via Orbex Central, ensuring the team can easily push important updates to the community at ease. Horizon Simulations also mentioned that their Boeing 787-9 will be making its way to Microsoft Marketplace for PC and Xbox soon. However, it will be a paid add-on. Horizon Simulations haven't disclosed the pricing as of yet, but said it will be an affordable, competitive price. Effectively, it's a very well done modification of the Dreamliner. Horizon Simulations have released version 1.2 of the 787-9, featuring a reworked flight model, improved takeoff dynamics, enhanced autopilot engagement, and they've updated the landing physics and more. So you can now grab it. They've also added in support on the com page, allowing for support to their incredible add-on, Say Intentions AI, which is working off CPDLC, and so on and so on. So great news there from Horizon. Brilliant, right? Now, the drama. BMWorld and AmSim releasing Washington Dulles. Right? Beautiful model of the world and AmSim have released their latest rendition, which is that of Washington Dulles International Airport, Kilo India Alpha Delta. The airport is one of the major airports servicing Washington, D.C., its metropolitan area, located in Dulles, Virginia, about 26 miles west of downtown Washington, D.C. The airport offers a huge selection of destinations from all over the world through a large choice of carriers, and Washington Dulles also serves as a hub for United Airlines and United Express. Some say that, what was his name? Jesus, what was his name? John McClane. Some say John McClane is in there, so he's not, but I wish he was. Wouldn't that be brilliant? Who was the baddie in Die Hard 2? Dulles Control. Who was the baddie? Brilliant, right? DJ Seamus, good to see you. John Morecamp, welcome aboard. Washington Dulles, one of the major airports. It's huge, right? It's a joint rendition, includes high-resolution texturing throughout, detailed terminals, surrounding buildings, interiors, so on and so on. And it's available through Anybills right now for £19.56. We'll have to wait. Colonel Stewart, brilliant. We'll see how long that lasts. I am going to show this scenery off. As I said, there's a lot of, there's an Irish flag. There's a lot of drama going on in the background. who wants drama? I don't know. If you want drama, there's loads there. I just want to look at this as a scenery add-on, and then sure, we'll, you make your own decision then after that. How's that, right? Yeah, he was the Grim Reaper from Bill and Ted. Yeah, brilliant Spitfire. Colonel William Stewart. Excellent. What a movie, right? What a movie. Anyway, moving on. France VF4 have released Nantes Atlantique Airport for Microsoft Flight Sim. They've added a new destination to their lineup with the release of Lima Fox Romeo Sierra Nantes Atlantique, located in the Loire Atlantique department in France's picturesque Pas de Loire region. The airport provides simmers with a highly detailed and immersive scenery to explore in and around the city of Nantes. This release is part of France's VF4's Airports France Pack number 4, and models the airport with close attention to detail, covering everything from accurate ground markings, night lighting, realistic vegetation, and animated elements across the platform. The 3D buildings have also been rendered in photorealistic style, according to the developers, which should improve realism, especially when navigating around the terminal. The runway profiles also reworked to reflect the actual slopes and contours of the airport, and with compatibility with France VF4's extensive VF4 France product line, the new airport will integrate smoothly with other France-focused scenery packs. Nice. It's available right now. You can pick it up over on Sim Market. It's around €10, right? Nantes is close to where I did my PPL. Yeah. I've been at the airport. It's stunning. Jeremy Irons. No, he was in the third one. David Cleary, wasn't he? Yeah, wasn't it Jeremy Irons in the third one? And it was your man who was in the first one. What was his name? Your man, brilliant actor. He's no longer with us. He was in Harry Potter. He was in loads of stuff. He played De Valera in Michael Collins. What's his name?
Time to pull the big switch, good buddy.
Jesus! Loads of things happened. Twarog is here with a raid of Raiders. Welcome in, Raiders. Happy Wednesday. Hope you had a wonderful stream. You join us here for the news as we cover the news. So welcome in, everybody. Thank you so very, very much indeed. And Dan1878, thank you, sir, for the tier 1 sub. 33 months. Thank you very, very much indeed. And welcome in. We have Martin, welcome in. Thank you for the follow. Alan Rickman. Yes, it was Alan Rickman. Brilliant. Now let me see. Wait. How do you pronounce that, Jormungandr? Welcome in. Mr. Ting, Raid. Yes. The sounds in the background. Alan Rickman, what an actor. Twarog, thank you very, very much indeed, lads. Welcome in. I hope you're all keeping very well. And we're just here with the news. We're talking about the new Dulles. And now we've moved on to Nantes Atlantique. Vive la France. He also played Churchill. Did he? Mr. Thing, it made my night. No, Mr. Ting. Balls. I've made a terrible mess. But yes, spell check got me. It's okay, Christopher, don't worry. Alan Hickman. Wait, what? Anyway, moving on. News that ailerons spoiled earlier on. Man, ailerons. A2A simulations updating us on how their compatibility is going to be inside Flight Sim 2024. Well, they've offered some timely insight, stating that the rendition of the Comanche is taking a couple of steps just to make sure the smooth transition for current users. After gaining early access to the development alpha, A2A reports the current version of the Comanche is performing well. Key AccuSim features, including their sophisticated external aerodynamics engine, they appear to integrate seamlessly. There might be a few minor compatibility issues to address, and the team anticipates Comanche users will be able to fly in Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 on day one or very soon after. Once they receive access to the final build, A2A plan to release guidance on transferring your Comanche files and aircraft state to the new sim. The goal is to make this as straightforward as possible, allowing users to continue their experience without any sort of interruptions, right? Now, that's hilarious because the other thing just went offline, now it's back on. Brilliant. Now, they also spoke about native compatibility. They're still looking into this. They want to know what the crack is. We know that A2A are working on the Aerostar. That's going to be the next aircraft. That's a twin engine. And anyone who's watched the movie American Made, that fella who looks like me, and Twarog a bit, Tom Cruise, yeah. He was, that's the Piper Aerostar, right? A2A are working on that. They actually had their own aircraft. It suffered a gear-up landing. But anyway, they're looking at 2024 to see, are they going to be able to get AccuSim to work within reason inside of 2024. They reckon so. But it'd be interesting to see what happens. My wife said you look a bit like Chris Evans. Yeah, well, thanks. Jesus. There's no comeback to that. She's not the first. New black. Good man yourself, Energizer.
10-4, good buddy.
Dougal, have you been drinking?
I have, Ted. I've been drinking like a mad idiot.
Hang on a second. News coming in off the hot shelf with thanks to Energizer. And, oh, brilliant, right? There's things happening here.
Hello there.
Professional editions and a brand new 114 Commander. New black square Microsoft Flight Sim aircraft in the works. What? Can you guess what it is just by looking at it? Nick Kazansky is like out the door busy, right? Can you name the airplane, friends? What is it? Do you know what it is? Right? I still think it's a bit more like a well-worn Jimmy Somerville. Rickman was in the best Star Trek movie ever, Galaxy Quest. Listen, don't be leave all that alone now, right? As is surely the case for most developers, I have been asked whether my existing aircraft will be compatible with 2024 with increasing frequency. It was my intention to offer fully compatible versions of my standalone aircraft, which include the Velocity, the TBM, and the piston and turbine Dukes on day one. However, the Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 Dev Alpha has revealed several undocumented breaking code changes, and it's unclear how the Dev Alpha will relate to the release build. With so much uncertainty, the best I can offer is my dedication to these products and providing a quality experience in Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 for existing users. Jesus! That scared the life out of me. Cole Debo, thank you for the bits. So, it took someone 4 years long to get floater van, right? Floater van. He just started a hype train as well. Thank you very much. Anyway, in the current state, the aircraft are already enjoyable in 2024, but present minor graphical and animation abnormalities due to the core sim changes that I would not ignore in an ordinary 2020 product release. As for the steam gauge overhaul, that includes the Caravan, the King Air, Bonanza, and Baron, I have been planning a major reboot of these titles as standalone aircraft in 2024, and the new aircraft will be known as the Professional Series and will include all the technology that makes the TBM, Dukes, and Starship among the most complex general aviation aircraft for Microsoft Flight Sim. This is huge news, lads. Chris Evans, don't know who she is. This is huge news, right? It's also possible that there will be a path of least resistance to bring Steam Gauge overhaul fleet into the sim as is for those who wish to continue using the titles in the new simulator. However, we cannot be sure until more is known about it. All right. Today, I would like to offer a preview of the Caravan Professional, a drastically improved version of the analog Caravan with many new features and improved graphical quality. The Caravan Professional will comprise two separate and independent titles, each with two variants of the based aircraft. One title will contain the base model Grand Caravan with a passenger interior for seating for up to 12 passengers and 2 crew, both with and without the optional cargo pod. The other title will contain the Grand Caravan Amphibian and Super Cargo Master variants. All 4 new variants of the Caravan Professional will also be sold together at a discounted bundle, combining both titles. Existing owners of the analog Caravan will be provided with discount codes. This is huge news, lads. Black Square makes some of the best aircraft in the sim for general aviation. Hands down, they're some of my favourite. The Dukes, incredible. The TBM, amazing. Twarlog, thank you very much indeed. You do take care. And Chris Evans, brilliant. But anyway, unlike the Steam Gauge Overhaul series, the Black Square Professional series will feature all new exterior models and sound packages. The models, textures and materials exceed the quality of all the previous Black Square aircraft to date. The Caravan Professional implements all of the applicable features made popular by the TBM and the Turbine Duke, including custom turbine engine simulation, beta range, prop feathering physics, turbine engine failures, voltage-based light dimming, the whole 9 yards. Black Square's tablet interface is also going to be added to the Caravan Professional, which is absolutely brilliant. That's really, really good. I'm liking this. Next, I would like to introduce my next general aviation product. Black Square's Commander 114 will deliver the same high standard of quality represented in my other standalone aircraft. So the Commander 114, This is this is kind of Piper, our own neck of the woods. Stunning. Look at that, isn't it? Ah, lads. I mean, would you come on out of that? This is brilliant, right? Brilliant. Go back there now. What do we have here? The Commander is well known for its luxurious wide cabin, but also the sturdy trailing link landing gear. Ooh, that's a lot of news there, isn't it? That's brilliant. I'm really looking forward to this. Like Black Square, I was, how are they going to manage to get their stuff working? We still haven't seen their the latest release just yet. It's coming very, very soon. This is huge news. Energizer, you absolute gent and a scholar for giving us the heads up on that. Now, moving on, Parallel 42 comments on Microsoft Flight Sim compatibility. As we get a little bit closer to the sim, Edson, OMG Edson, opened up by giving us some not so great news. Unfortunately, there hasn't been an entirely smooth process when mentioning how testing has gone with their products as part of the dev alpha. He continued by saying the statements from Microsoft saying virtually all add-ons will work has not helped the perception that migration from 2020 to 2024 would be a smooth one. Edson said that this promise falls way short for many third-party developers, including that of Parallel 42. They're not sitting on their hands, as testing of their add-ons has been ongoing now, and that said, until a solid production release is out in the wild, they can't really commit to exactly how the products will look in the new sim at launch. Our products will not likely work day one. In fact, we encourage you to install them and experience just how broken they are, so our workload is validated on your end. Edson was keen to let the community know that Parallel 42 is not in any rush to compromise on its quality. He said most products should make the cut, but it may take several months to ensure everything works smoothly. Parallel 42 Flow, that's what I need, right? Yeah, the Rockwell Commander, great aircraft. Yeah. Now, there's another Commander, isn't there? There's, is it the S500 Wombat? Isn't that the twin engine? Is it an S500? I think it is. So it looks like Parallel 42 really do have an uphill battle here. I'm not worried because I know they'll figure it out. They've done incredible things already to our sim. They have made accessibility so much better, I think, especially when it came to Flow. It's just, I can't sim without Flow. So we'll have to wait and see what they can do. But fingers crossed they'll manage to figure this one out. Now, some news here from Miltech. So Miltech has released a bit of a roadmap similar to what we saw from IndyBuilds. With the release of Flight Sim 2024 just around the corner, Miltech have been working the last several weeks preparing their catalogue. To ensure compatibility of the sim, all products will require updates to function correctly. Fair enough. No official updates will be available on day one. They're going to need a few days to get things working, and so on and so forth. All the FS20 to 2024 updates will be free of charge. Nice. You may expect the same features in 2020, with perhaps a few improvements. 2024 specific features like career, walkarounds, external checks, they might be added in future updates, subject to demand and complexity. Native Flight Sim 24 version 2 updates, aircraft that will be rebuilt, they will be subject to an additional cost. I mean, it makes sense, right? We have been unable to test the new streaming of content on Flight Sim 24. As such, our recommendation is that all content is fully downloaded from the marketplace before use. We are afraid that streaming may not function correctly with carrier and aircraft products. So here's something new. So we know that Microsoft is releasing this thin product, the thin client, right? What they mean with that is you only need to download what you're actually going to use. Miltech, on the other hand, who are a first-party developer, well, they're saying, well, at the moment, our stuff doesn't seem to work if it's just streamed. You actually need all the files in order to make it work. So until they get their head around it, they're recommending all their content is fully downloaded. And that kind of gives us a little bit of an insight. Do we want to fully download it or do we want to stream it? I think I remember seeing something there about you giving us the option of what we want to do with some add-ons. That'll be interesting. Now, as the roadmap takes shape, the marketplace customers may get access to ported 2020 versions of Miltech products. We strongly advise against using these as they are likely to contain several bugs. I think this is no longer valid because Jorg said this evening they're going to hold off on the marketplace for a couple of weeks. When the sim releases next Tuesday, the marketplace will not be activated. That makes sense. When they're talking about 2024 and its products, price drops and adjustments may occur in anticipation of Flight Sim 2024 on some of their other products and older products. Renting will be available for selected products. We do not plan to offer free trials. That's up to each developer, but if they're going to rent an aircraft or make it available to rent, that's a nice thing. There are rumors that career mode will only be available on marketplace products. We do not have official confirmation, and it's a matter we consider after all Flight Sim 24 conversion work has been finalized. My understanding is only the marketplace products at the moment will work inside career. The George Bush and Lexington carrier products are officially discontinued. Both products will not receive Flight Sim 2024 updates. They're dead in the water. Amphibious Ready Group update is in development, and a 2024 conversion will be available, with version 2 dropping short after. Cosmetic weapon depictions will be added to carriers and aircraft now that they are allowed in the marketplace. They don't have a release date on their U2, CH-53 or aerial refueling. Scope for all these products has changed, and there are contractual agreements dictating release schedules for some of these. All right. So, yeah, let's see what happens there. Contractual releases. So, either the U2, the CH-53, or perhaps aerial refueling looks to be part of the Microsoft release window, if they're contractual agreements, right? But anyway, it's a decent one. Thanks to Mr. Dan for that. Now, Navigraph charts. Well, I can show you what we have here on the screen. Look. They've released a new update, and it's a beta. It's called it's for traffic and AT sector features, right? Basically, what we have here, right, on your Navigraph, once you update the Divil, right, this is your Navigraph as you know it, right, and depends on what way you have your Navigraph set up. This is my Navigraph, but you can change this. You know, you might see something more familiar like this, or you know, you might be looking at your high altitude IO4 routes, all that sort of jazz. I use mine in night mode, but that's probably how yours looks. Yeah, this is just Navigraph charts, and it's exceptionally good. It's brilliant. So if I just leave on the world map here for a minute, and I'll just put it in night mode because everything's better in night mode. There's now a new button, toggle online traffic network settings. Okay, now we need to turn it on first, and we can select either VATSIM or IVAO traffic. Hello there. This is brilliant. And if there's any feedback, they need feedback, lads. It's very, very important, right? So you'll see now on the map, well, things have started to change a little, right? Because now we actually have aircraft. These are VATSIM traffic aircraft, and we also have the ATC sectors. So for instance, if I were to click on the London sector, well, this is the London West control, currently under control by Kyle. It's a centre. What frequency he's on. This is all super, super handy. If we click in on Dublin, well, we can see, yes, Dublin is up and running. We have Tower and an ATIS is online. Okay. We can read the ATIS directly here. We can have a look at the gates. How many times does this happen? Oh, Jesus, don't do that. Approve. Thank you. Go back to this. All right. Now we go. It does that. There's a couple of bugs in the system. If we were opening the airport, have a look at this. So this is Dublin as we know it. Yeah, we can go in and look at the runways. We can look at the weather, NOTAMs, all that jazz. But now we can look at the network. So we can see the terminals, right? This is cool. We can see. So for example, let's look at Pier 2, and it zooms in on this pier. It'll tell you that stand is free. This one here, 205 left, it's occupied. And there's a Shamrock 209 in there. You can then click on Shamrock 209, and you know, give it a second, because I imagine it's a little bit on the buggy side. It'll pull in their flight plan. Let's try this one. Or at least it should. These are arrivals. So here's one here, look. It's pulled in a flight here of Shamrock 35 Alpha. It was an A320 that took off out of Lima Papa Papa Tango. It flew to Dublin. And that's what he did, right? That's what he did. I can copy that route. Although that looks like an interesting route, I can now copy that route instantly and go off and go flying. This is absolutely brilliant stuff from Navigraph, and it's a free update if you have charts. And as I said, that's just looking at the piers. Really handy on VATSIM if you want to start off at an airport to say, hey, I want to start on this stand. I can't. You know, it's blocked, right? Isn't that pretty cool? So we can now look at aircraft. Again, if you want to, you can find an aircraft flying in the sky. This guy here, for example, right? Let's have a look. So let's bring up the information for this guy. And it pops it in behind me head down here, look. So this guy is flying a Ryanair out of Edinburgh towards Dublin. That's his flight plan. He's on VATSIM and he's been there for the last hour. Isn't that cool? Isn't that cool? Absolutely brilliant. Deal is in the house. Good to see you, Deal, Wolfstrike. It's absolutely incredible what Navigraph have managed to do here, lads, because this is a free update. We can now see VATSIM traffic live, and you'll even notice some of the aircraft animations. The update speed is savage. It's savage. Like, it's very, very fast. Very fast. Does this mean that there's no more need for apps like VATSPOT? I think so, Muse. I think once this is up and running, you're not going to need anything else, because they're going to show you what facilities are online, if there's an FIR online, the controller, their frequency, other aircraft in the vicinity, so on and so on and so on. And it's pulling this data from VATSIM. It can also pull it in from IVAO. In theory, but it's still buggy. Yeah, it is buggy for the little while. They need your feedback. So if you find any issues or bugs, you got to tell them, right? But it's super, super good. And I would love, and I know that there are more features coming to this, but they want to get this stuff sorted first. Navigraph, I think, have been having an issue over the last week or two, because you have to constantly log back into your account. Right, even my little system over here is doing it. Right, so yeah, just whatever it is, I don't know what's causing it, but it's constantly asking me to get you back into your account. But anyway, all should be well. This is really, really good. This is a free upgrade or an update. It's quality of life on such a massive level, I think. Anyone who uses this, VATSIM flying or IVAO, this is very, very much welcomed, right? Would love if... Oh, Gibbo's here. Would love if you could favorite flyers so you can see your mates on the map. That's a great idea. Can we do that? No, you can't do that at the moment. You can certainly track the flights. But yeah, Gibbo, that's another great idea. Again, lads, that's the sort of feedback Navigraph want. They want to hear what we want, right? We've seen other things. Wouldn't it be handy if you just click on that button and it automatically tuned your radio in the sim? Yeah, it would. These are the stuff we'd love to see, right? Users aircraft also needs a different colour from others. I would agree. And not only a colour, Dougal, I would hope they would bring in a new icon, because at the moment, all these aircraft are the same. And this is a nice little segue. Right, Patrick, thank you very much indeed. Gifting a tier 1 sub to Fly Haskins. Thank you very much. A nice little segue into Volanta. Volanta got an update as well, lads, right? And what we have with Volanta, let's see here now. So Volanta has added in new aircraft icons, right? So if I were to say, look, put on VATSIM, yes, VATSIM is there. Close that. Enlarge this. How do we go night mode on this gadget? Let's see. General. Isn't there a way to do like show ATC for multiple aircraft? Sure. Isn't there a way to do? It's probably on the main screen. I'd say map, layers. There we go. Day night line, weather, 3D mode. What else do we have? There's got to be something else here. Anyway, there's a way to do it. But effectively, it's the same crack again. You're looking at, they've added in tons of new aircraft icons. So, for example, look, see the way you have, like, here, you can spot that on the map. That's a general aviation aircraft. You can see it on the map, right? Versus an airliner. But they've also added in things like the CH-47. There's, A380 stuff got in there. There's private jets gone in there. There's military jets in there. It's a small little icons. All right? So that's Volanta. I would love to see that come into VATSIM if they can change the label, if you like, or the icon for the aircraft. I don't see any options to do that yet. Sure, they're working on it. But I mean, look, isn't it cool? You can just go in and track, see what aircraft are doing. It's really, really good. Really, really good. So great news from Navigraph. It's a free update, as I say, and it's just absolutely brilliant news. Great stuff out of them. Now, going back into news. So that was Navigraph. We covered Volanta. See the way we did that? We're on fire here at the minute, lads. We covered the Aerosoft news. Microsoft will be talking to Aerosoft. Aerosoft are going to issue folks who pre-ordered the special collector's edition, but they're going to give them a Game Pass code. They can use that, and then they'll give them like an Aviator's edition code a few days later. Now, my last bit of news, I thought it was well worth a mention because it's a developer who I've been following for many years, especially over in the world of X-Plane. X-Plane users, you'll know this guy, Mr. X, one of the most talented X-Plane scenery developers, has now officially joined Laminar Research, part of the new development team. This is pretty big news. Mr. X, also known as Short Final Design, Justin is his name. He's been making a lot of freeware for years for X-Plane. Then he started his own payware stuff, Short Final, and the quality of the scenery for X-Plane, it was outstanding. Well, he's now officially joined Laminar Research, so I would expect to start seeing... Is that the doorbell? There's loads of politicians around all of a sudden. But yeah, this is going to be great news from Laminar Research. So just thought we'd mention that because, well, it's great news. And last bit here, lads, some VATSIM events coming up this weekend. If we have a look here on Saturday, there's a pretty cool one because there is... Where are you? There's a Wizz Air Ops Night. On the 16th November, Saturday, provide a city link between Milano and Budapest from 1400 to 1700 Zulu. ATC services will be provided, and this is an event. So from Budapest to Milano, you're going to have full ATC coverage on VATSIM. So that's available there. All right. Brilliant. Right, lads, we're going to move on. We have an aircraft. We've two aircraft to show you. We have a scenery, and I want to delve into the... I need to delve into preparations for Flight Sim 2024. Some of the things that I've done on my rig, software, and just getting things ready. And I'm sure, well, I'm hoping you might see something new. Your mileage may, of course, vary. It depends, but let's see what happens. This aircraft now, as we're moving on, friends, as we're moving on, this is a brand new release. And let me see here now. It's from a company called Tacflight, and it's based on the Bell Kiowa, right? And well, talking to Colonel Fork, he did say the developer knows now, thanks to Colonel Fork, there's one or two small little issues, in particular when it comes to multiplayer. We also know that Echo 19 is very interested in doing a sound pack for this aircraft, so that's going to be exciting. But let's have a look at the machine. Anyone who's used DCS, well, you got a Kiowa release there a few months back. Really, really good. This chopper, it's, well, they're fairly modern-ish. It's based, of course, on the Bell and manufactured between the 60s all the way up until 1990. It first flew as a Bell 206 in 1966, and it was retired only back in 2020. It retired from the US Army. I still think it's used in some places. But it's an advanced scout helicopter. That's the idea. Think of this thing as painting targets, laser guiding, laser finding, high precision cameras on board. It does have some offensive capabilities. I mean, we can see the like Hellfires, whatever, on the side. It also has fixed machine guns. This thing is part of... I've seen it in use as part of anti-tank work. Yeah, so you'd have these choppers going in to provide the surveillance and the scouting for the likes of your Apache gunships and so on, right? Now, Tacflight, this is a brand new release for them into Microsoft Flight Sim, so we're going to treat them as a brand new developer. And as you can see from the helicopter here, well, there is a ton of detail. We got to get up close and personal. Have I a rotor brake? Yeah. Right, see the way I found a rotor? I'm very handy. Look at the friggin' textures, right? I mean, there's textures galore on this thing. The modelling is spot on. The textures are outstanding, both inside and out. And again, they've weapons modelling there. This is sold through Just Flight. Are they Hellfires? They look like Hellfires. But anyway, it's a helicopter. If you're into helicopter flying, well, then you're going to be absolutely liking this thing. It needs a couple of tweaks, I think, on the flight model. It's a little bit twitchy. It's fun to fly, though, definitely. But as you can see from the sheer attention to detail, they've done some incredible work on this. As their first release into the sim, it's incredible, right? See the camera, infrared, high intensity, blah, blah, blah. It's just mad. This is a mad looking helicopter. But again, you can YouTube these, you'll see them. Technically, the 58A were Kiowa. This is the D, the Kiowa Warrior, because of the additional weapons ability. There we go. Thank you, Colonel Fork. Isn't it mad looking? So what we're going to do, I need to talk to you about some of the features of this thing, because they have done stuff to this chopper that's brand new to Microsoft Flight Sim, right? So inside the interior, isn't it owned? Look at the detail, lads. Like, staggering. It's a beautiful cockpit. A full QWERTY keyboard works here, so you can actually type in all your information and stuff. It's done very, very well, right? Looking onto our overhead, the circuit breakers don't work. That's not important. You have a ton of lights here, right? It also comes with this, a pilot's book. We'll look at that now in a moment. So we do have some more switches and buttons back here. And it's a two-seater, right? As I said, it's modelled on the 206, but it's more munitions and stuff to keep in the back. Now, you can put stuff in the back, I'm sure. But yeah, that's kind of the general layout here. What do you think? It looks nice, doesn't it? Check this stuff out. So we have the loadout. Okay, so yeah, they are Hellfires, but we can change those to some Stingers, right? So we can actually change the loadout, apply, and yeah, look at this. You can change the weapon. So we can put a 30 cal, an air-to-air Stinger, 2 missiles or just 1 missile, and do the same over here. So you can really customize this aircraft. Isn't that cool? It's really, really cool, right? War Hamster, good to see you. The A-10 pilot was watching 2 of these suppressed Taliban with rifles in their cockpits. No way. Jesus. So yeah, you get the idea. Highly customizable. So we're going to go back here. I don't know. Give us an L30 cal in each wing for the crack. Can we go 30 cal? Jesus, look at that. Apply that. Ammo, 7 rockets. Isn't it deadly? Right, what else do we have? Persistent loadout. No, we'll go into configuration next, right? We can hide the left door, hide the right door. Repair windshield. Skid type, so you can have the standard, or we can go with the high. So there's a lot of customization stuff here. We can also show some of the cockpit stuff. So we can appear M4 rifles or disappear them. Same with the smoke grenades. We can show the pilot or the co-pilot inside the 3D cockpit. Again, the modeling is very, very nice. Cool. Now watch this one. Draw a reticle that'll be displayed on the windshield. What? So if I were to do a reticle, Murphy style, apply. You see what it's done here? Look. Isn't that mad? Click the red smoke grenade. Oh, Jesus. Colonel Fork, you're not to be telling me to... Oh, God. No smoking. Haha, brilliant. Didn't even know it could do that. That's fantastic. Right. No smoking. Look at that, though. You can actually put it in your own reticle. Or we can change it now. Clear that and put in a big X. And now apply. And there we have an X. Pretty cool, right? Anyway, that's not all, friends. Clear that, apply. Checklists are all here. So you access everything from within this book. Navigation, map, the whole shebang. We can put in lat long or UTM information. We can also store this inside the aircraft flight plan. And then we have decals. Decals? Waiting to see this crack. So here we have the aircraft. If I go up here to my menu, we have a painter. Now, if I want to add a picture, how this works, I can add a pic. That's the left, so I want the right side. So we're going to say, well, add this, right? I can make this thing, I can make this appear. And you might say, what are you talking about, Murphy? How do we do this now? Select existing paint kit, TTM, import. Import, load, or cancel. Select. Load. Give it a second. Select decal to place on model. You can add an image. Any image. When you click add, it's going to say, right, give me the image URL, right? It'll fetch that, and I'm going to say, right, give me the TTM one. Add that image, right? All right. Scale. And where's this now? Why aren't you popping up? There it is here, look. I had it on the wrong side because I'm a muppet. Disappear that, disappear that. We'll go back to the right side where the sun is shining, right? So I was going to say, right. See what I'm doing here? Do you see my logo now on the chopper? And you can do this with any image at all once you have the URL. This is absolutely incredible. Now, if I want to remove that ordnance that's there, because, well, get the ordnance out of the way for the minute, right? Just have a look at this. Configuration, loadout, sorry. Throw back on our Hellfire. Change the scale. Move it up or down. And you get the idea, like if I make the scale huge, I mean you can almost paint half the aircraft. Gibbo, right? However, it'll only work on this aircraft because they've managed to code this side. Does it work with GIFs? No, only a JPEG image from what I can see. Now, again, we can just grab an image. So let's say, I don't know, I wonder can I get a link to just an image? I can't, right? So if I were to say copy image URL, copy image link. So I just look for an image. I'm going to add an image. I'm going to paste a URL. I'm going to say fetch, type error. Okay, so what? Okay, so that's not right. Hang on. How do we do this now? Hang on a second now. Let's say, for example, it's this one. Will that work?
Dougal, have you been drinking? I have, Ted. I've been drinking like a mad idiot.
Save image as. It's a JPG. So copy image. No, copy image link. Right, so we'll try this one now, right? Will that work? Fetch. Ah, yeah, look. So here's a picture now, lads, of Pat Short that you can put in your aircraft. So we'll disappear the GTM one, and then we'll get Pat Short in there. So if you want, you see where we're going with this, right? You can now, if you wanted to, we can save that. And now there, oh, Jesus, there we have any owl image we want on our helicopter. That's right. That's right. Jeez, okay, but you on that, lads, right? But you get the idea. And I'm acting the idiot here now, but like, you know, if you had maybe you're ex-military and you want to put your own uniflash, maybe in a virtual airline, or maybe you just have something cool, you can add in any image, right? Now, does it work in multiplayer? There is a way. No, not natively. If you want this to work in multiplayer, you gotta save your file and then you share that livery with someone else. That's how it works, right? But yeah, in before someone puts in something wrong here, right? So it's mad though, right? I think the Air Corps should adopt the Murphy logo. Yeah, they should. But isn't it a great idea? That's not Alan Carr, that's Pat Short, lads. Right? Do you like me Hawaiian shirt? That's right. But you get the idea. This is a really cool, neat feature. I like it. I like it a lot. So we'll call it number 1 and save. Isn't that pretty cool? But anyway, back to the chopper at hand. As we jump in here, get our views reset, because what I want to do here is take this for a quick jaunt. So we're going to close and close. And now we're just going to check out the add-on because, well, it is a really nice helicopter. Battery on. That's not, yeah. Power it up there now. Gen's off for the minute. There's a button I need to find. Oh, balls, where is it? Don't worry now, lads. I'll figure this one out. Where's the acknowledge button again? Balls. It's over here somewhere. I found it. Right, there it is. We turned off the alarm. See, I can do things. Thank you, Colonel Fork. Right, let me see. Lights. Pedo. Console lights, bring them up. Cargo hook, leave it off. Right, that looks grand to me. So, Bijani then, let's see what happens if we're going to try and start this machine. Open the L throttle, starter. Thumb, thank you very much indeed. We have sounded. Sounds good, right? Right, let's have a look. All this stuff works, by the way. So, like, have a look at this, right? You can change everything here. All the avionics of this aircraft work. It's done really, really well. Now, I'm only going to be scratching the surface here, lads, because I think this is the sort of chopper, if you're interested in helis, highly recommend you start looking at this thing, because it's very inviting, right? Have a listen to the sounds outside. Do we really have someone called Murph Skoda after joining? Murph Skoda sounds good, but never as good as my powerful engine. Brilliant. Colonel Fork might be streaming this later tonight. Brilliant. Lads, keep an eye out on Colonel Fork's channel because he might be streaming this very machine a little bit later on. Right, so, well, let's see, can we fly it, right? Wish me luck. So a bit of power coming in. Get ready with the anti-torque straight away. Easy now, Jemima. Mind the trees, give us a bit of a turn here. Now there are some things the 3D pilots don't appear from the exterior, which is a little bit strange. But look at the detailing in the cockpit though, isn't it gorgeous? We're swinging into night mode here now in a moment. Look at it, lads. Now there is a bit of rotor slap, there's not enough. I'm not hearing it as much as you should on a turn, but there is there, right? I mean, listen. So you can hear a bit of slap in it, right? It's quite good. But it's a nice chopper. And there's a whole load of stuff going on with this. Now we'll check out some night lighting here as well. Don't crash the chopper. Wait now. So night vision. That's hydraulics. I forgot to turn those on. Don't crash, Murphy. Don't crash, Murphy. Let's have a look now. So it says night vision is on. What else do we need? On up here. So that's our interior lighting at night. Isn't that something? I mean, that's very good, isn't it? Kate's Gaming, welcome in. They fixed the pilot and the flight model in an update. Yeah, I probably don't have a Colonel Fork. What do you think of the night lighting? Isn't it sweet? So it is that of a nice machine. Right, come down the road. Let's see what trouble we can get ourselves into here, right? Easy. Easy. Picking up some dirt. I should put it down in the grass. Oof. A hearty landing, lads. A hearty landing. What do you think of it? Isn't it pretty? And like, even the aircraft itself at night time. Not much to see. Disappear me, you'll see a little bit better. Yeah, keeping it low in the fields and all that, pretty nice. Like, she's proper military, like it's, even though there's weapons modelled on it, I mean, it's still, it's a reconnaissance aircraft. Which is, it's pretty cool, isn't it? Pretty cool. Now, how skilled are we now when it comes to, like, you know, trying to fly this thing? Let's have a look, right? Let's have a look. Easy now, Jemima. Easy, easy. Easy. It's pretty cool, right? It's pretty cool. We're going to crash. But you get the idea, right? You get the idea. So that's a brand new release. It's available through Just Flight if you're interested to pick it up. And yeah, there's one on DCS. Not radar, it's a camera suite, or it's a camera set for observation. Jesus, I nearly bashed it. I like it and I'm interested, but there's something that doesn't look quite right. I can't put my finger on it. But I think the modelling is quite good, right? I think they've done a great job. Right, so let's see what we can do here. Kill the throttle. Why is that off? Ooh, that doesn't want to play at all. Ooh, are they, where's fuel? How do we get into the fuel? How does one cut the fuel on this? That doesn't want to play. Everything from here can work as well, and as in, like, you can type in stuff with your keyboard. It's done really, really well. Really, really well. Red lever to the right of the top console. Ah, rotor brake, okay. Sweet. But yeah, something new, lads, something new. Now, speaking about something new, we just happened to find ourselves at Dulles Control. This is Dulles, Washington Dulles, a brand new release from BMWorld and AmSim. Now, as I said, there's a whole load of drama going on in the background, but sure, listen, we'll have a look at this and see what you guys think. It's a huge airport. It's massive. I mean, the scale of this airport, you can see it here, like, it's friggin' huge, right? Absolutely massive. Number of different control towers and terminals and all the jazz, jetways, right? And they do have interiors modelled. There are passengers in some of them. I haven't found them in all of them, right? There are passengers there. I mean, you can see here now, they've modelled the interiors. If that's your thing, it may not be your thing, right? Over to the control towers, they're modelled as well. Both of them. This one is very, very basic, as in not much goes on here, which makes me think this is the ground control. Perhaps. I could be wrong. You know, the gates are done pretty well. That's a thing. The, you know, movable gates. We saw a Concorde take off out of here in 93 digital mark. Nice. Again, we've got more interiors done. And there's people down this end. I don't know why they're not on all of them, but there's people down this end. Well, not animated, but it has the interiors modelled. right? It's a huge airport though. Like the scale, lads, of this airport, it is massive, absolutely massive, right? I mean, look, you can see the detailing here. It's done quite nice. It's just a huge airport. Now, I don't think there is a working train, but again, you got tons of people there, you know. Smiley Beaches, thank you very much indeed. 9 months, man. Thank you very, very much. Insane support. There's a man with a hat thinking about, you know, stuff. But yeah, it's there's a lot of detail. It's purely the scale. And we're some 26 miles to the east, no, to the west of Washington, D.C. But it's a huge airport, look. It reminds me a lot of Fort Worth, and just in terms of how sprawling it is.
That's a big 10-4,
You know,
good buddy.
Texas One Flyboy, thank you very much indeed. Jesus, you absolute ledge. Subscribe to Tier 1. 30 months, man. Thank you very, very much. There's a United maintenance hangar down here. So it's kind of a no-thrills kind of an airport. It's just big. And the taxiway texturing is done really nice. The lighting is done nice. So it just seems to be, it's a solid scenery. It's available now. You can pick it up through AnyBills, as I said. Like, look at the detailing, all the cargo stuff, look. There's lots and lots going on. But it's purely scale. It's massive. Jesus, there's 3 towers, look. So there's 1 tower. There's another tower. Bit of detail in here. And then we have another tower that I don't think they've done anything with the interior. Is over here, look. 3 towers? Jesus. Isn't it massive? Let's check out some night lighting while we're here. Oh, that is nice, isn't it? Like, that is very nice, lads. Look at that. Zoom in here now, get a bit of a... Yeah, that's pretty decent. Nice. Yeah, Dulles. It was made famous in... Yeah, you can get it on AnyBills for now. Well, AnyBills did put out to say, listen, if we find there's any sort of jiggery pokery, they'll deal with that. At the moment, they haven't found any sort of jiggery pokery, but they're looking into it. So yeah, I think my advice, if you want to grab this, now's the time to grab it in case it disappears, right? But yeah, it's listen, it's a fine airport. I know Flightbeam are working on their rendition as well. They've missed a trick though. I don't see John McClane here. I think that just would have been brilliant. You know what I mean? Put an L ventilation shaft or something. But in terms of scale, it's just a massive airport. It's friggin' huge, lads. What's the other one in Washington?
That's a big 10-4, good buddy.
Jezrevecki, I think, flew it. He's in a tunnel under the runway, right? DJing, thank you very much indeed, DJing. 35 months. Cheers, man. Washington National? Okay. So yeah, so it's available through AnyBills right now. Again, if you like flying in and out of the nation's capital, well, now you can, because, well, they have a massive airport. Everything looks accurate. The buildings seem spot on. The runways, the textures on the runways I really like, and all the lighting looks spot on as well. They've done a great job. Oh no, it's Reagan. Yeah. Reagan. Look at that. The lighting is superb here, lads. It's done really, really well. And then, like, the terminal stuff. It's actually really good performance too. Really good. I can't find the church. No. I don't know where the church is. There should be a small church out the road, not too far, with a couple of questionable lads, you know, and your man from Bill and Ted. Booms! Welcome in, Booms!
That's a big 10-4, good buddy.
Thank you very much indeed, Booms. Welcome in, my dude. 16 months. Insane support. Lads, thank you very, very much indeed. You're very kind. Roy visited this airport. These funny taxi-like buses from one concourse to the other. There you go. So that's it for the chopper. Get the chopper. And of course then from the scenery. So well, it looks pretty nice. Right, lads, next up, we're nearly there. I want to show you one more aircraft, and then I'm going to be talking all about prepping your PC for Flight Sim 2024. And there's a bit to this, so put on the kettle, get a notebook, and we're going to be having a now chat about what I've done on my machine and what you can do on yours. And this is all prepping our systems for Flight Sim 2024. A nice caveat to all of this, or a nice, you know, caveat? Yeah, a nice caveat to all of this. You'll actually find some enhancements for Flight Sim 2020 as well, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to load in with this other aircraft. This is from CaptainSim. And where's the French one? There's US Air Force one. She comes with Italy, US, Belgium, France. She comes with, I think, 3 different liveries, and then you can buy more through CaptainSim. They do let you put them out on the normal stuff as well through the marketplace, right? But Captain Scam, well, I gotta say, Mr. Dan, like, I mean, their last few releases, I mean, their latest C-130 I thought was very, very good, and now they're moving in a direction of this new World War I product lineup. I think it's fair to say their airliners, they're not at the races. No. They've done C-130s with like proper cockpits. The last 2 of them, in fact, were very, very good. They really, like, it's. I tell you, if they were shite, they're not. They're actually good. You know. Rather a CaptainSim plane than Aerosoft at the moment. Yeah. Their latest C-130s I thought were good. Surprisingly so. And their airliners are crap. Right, the CaptainSim airliners. Like, let's call a spade here, lads. They're right. I'm not a fan of them. They look great on the outside, but that's it. Right, they're hollow. But anyway, let's have a look here. Change the weather just to something that we can actually look at this aircraft. Typical summer day. And that's too much, Murph. We'll do something like that. So say hello to the Spad. Well, now, isn't this a pretty little machine, isn't it? Right? There was almost 8,500 of these built. World War I aircraft, lads. That's the genre we're after finding ourselves in, right? And what I want to show you here is, well, it's pleasantly surprised by the quality. So, right, slow down the camera there. We'll move around this as gently as we can. And, well, we're just going to get up close and personal. Now, in terms of being a sophisticated airplane, well, it's World War I. It's going to be quite tame. But I think you might appreciate some of the textures and the modelling. The chocks, for example, are literally little bits of wood. Right? The tyres on the wheels, I thought, were done very well. And the general state of the plane in terms of, like, textures and, you know, wear and tear, I think it's done quite well. Even on the propeller, look, I mean, there's proper wear and tear stuff showing on the aircraft, right? Moving up underneath the engine there, again, you can see there's textures. This is nice. They've done some nice work here, right? Leading edge of both wings. And you can really see that fabric. I mean, look at it. That's done really well. Look at that. 4-second shark, good to see it. So it's quite nice. I think it's quite nice. And deliveries are nice as well. Authentic World War I stuff. Again, you notice it's a tail dragger, but there's no wheel. It's a skid, and they have even the little metal cover on the skid. So it seems to be kind of oozing with attention to detail here, I think, right? But let's not stop there. There's actually a bit of stuff going on, right? Check it out. So inside the cockpit, we have a little options thingy. And in here, we can, well, turn on some stuff. So our tire chocks are there. We can appear some cargo, and they appear in the map. Remove some body panels, and then we have like miscellaneous. Miscellaneous is effectively putting machine guns on it. And we put the tie downs on as well. Now look at the amount of stuff going on. It's kind of cool looking. Isn't it? Look at the detailing. I'm loving this. This is awesome. So yeah, we put in a couple of, I don't know, 20 cal. CaptainSim winery, but of course, courage. They're supposed to be machine guns, but I don't know if that's supposed to be funny or not. I don't know if I like that now. I thought they were actual machine guns. Check out where the panels move off though. And again, it's just showing you all the wooden design. Like, it's how basic were these airplanes. Look at this, look. Isn't that pretty cool? It's all modelled like. Like, this is good, lads. I don't like this is really, really nice if you're into these sort of planes. Now, they've also done something else. You can put in fuselage damage and wing damage. So if you wanted to be flying this around and, you know, part of a mission that you came back shot to absolute bejesus, well, you can do that. Now, it's more of a gimmick, I think. Right? You're playing absolutely bullet hole riddled and all that jazz. Top to bottom. But I like the way they're showing off the detail, even in the wing spars. You know what I mean? Like the whole wing, look. The entire wing. You can get in underneath the fabric and have a look at all the wing spars. That's pretty cool, isn't it? That's a nice touch. So you can see some damage on the wings, damage on the fuselage. They're just little, you know, buttons. You know what I mean? It is nice. That's why I wanted to show it off, because usually when people say CaptainSim, we're like, no, thanks, you're all right, Murph, right? So that's what we can do there. That's what the little clipboard does. Now, looking at the aircraft itself, well, again, we have some nice dials, a little compass down there. And let me see, we have our throttle is here, which is reversed. That's grand. Even the sounds, right? Couldn't tell you what half of this stuff is, but sure, we'll that's oil. That's, don't know, that's a button for something. I think these are to do with like mags. We'll find out. Don't know what these do. How's your French, lads? Reservoir, that's fuel tanks. Don't know what that is. What else do we have? Here's a control stick. Rudder pedals. See the pulleys moving. Nice. Even the look at the rudders, look. Brilliant, isn't it? Does it affect the handling physics with the damage on or off? I don't think so. I don't think so. Where is this now? Terrible, I got an F in school in French. Delivery is from the only Spad flying in the world. No way. And lads, I'm going to be that guy because I don't think I know how to start it. We'll try this one. I don't know what that does. How does one start the machine? Oh, look, you can open the oil thing. Oh, that's pretty sweet. I didn't know you can do that. So you can check for oil, right? Grand. How does one start it, though? I'm sure there's a button here we can press. What do you do? I don't know what you do. That mixture? That's mixture. What do you do? I tried to start us. Right, okay. Control and E. The sounds! It sounds lovely, doesn't it? Just like a Skoda. Who's at that? Right, so we're going to try an attempt to take off on this. Now you'll notice that the rudders do nothing, so you got to use kind of differential braking, but you need to do so with a bit of power. It's an absolute machine to turn, right? Right, we'll just taxi. It's grand. Don't worry about it, lads. We'll take off as is, right? Sure, we're used to flying on the ground. Yep, see Daisy. And it is actually quite sporty. As we're flying around Duxford here. You just want to fly to like those magnificent men in those flying machines. What do you think, lads? Something different, right? It's pretty nice. Okay, let's see what a stall can do. It behaves well. Wing completely dipped down. It's not bad at all, right? So their new Spad, and it's part of CaptainSim's new World War I line, right? Can you still fly showing the damage? Yeah, I think so. Doesn't really do anything to the flight handling. That's mad looking. That's madder looking. Yeah, it's pretty nice, isn't it? So, the Spad, can we land this now without dying, right? It's really grown on, yeah, it's nice. Now it's basic. It's basic, lads. Like, forget any sort of, you know... Although I'm saying that, does the compass work? Yeah, the compass works, look. Oh, Jesus, I'm about to stall. Easy. 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 Careful now. The compass works, that's nice. The brakes are rubbish, but you'd expect that. And handling it on the ground is nuts. It's like, it does not want to handle on the ground at all. Like, that's full brakes. Full brakes. It's like, nah. See if we can get that skid plate down. Alright. Brakes weren't a thing back then. No, absolutely not. What do we think? Very limited brakes, yeah. Where are we going? Where we're going, we don't need brakes. Lads, I thought it was really nice. It's a nice kind of change to what CaptainSim are doing. Neither was steering airfields with giant circles. Yeah. Like, it's really hard to turn this thing. The only way you can turn this thing, you need sufficient air hitting that rudder. Right? This is cheap enough. It's like 12 quid over in CaptainSim. You can spend another 4 and you get a handful of more liveries. I think it's worthy of your virtual hangar if you're into the vintage aircraft. There's something, it has charm. Do you know, there's a bit of charm or something going on with this plane. And I do like the little things, the little visual, little messing around, you know. I can turn all that on or off, like, you know. So we can say, right, put in the old tie downs and then, you know, open up the stuff. It's nice, like, you know what I mean? Imagine a formation flight with them. Yeah, it'd be awesome. It'd be awesome. Really, really would. All right? So that's available right now. It is the Spad S.XIII from CaptainSim, no less. And yeah, something new. Joey Bolo, good to see you, man. You're very welcome in. Right, lads, next up, we're going to now talk about Flight Sim 2024 and getting your machine ready, right? Now, we'll start off at the beginning. And a big shout out to Cyrus T. There's a program here. I'm going to copy it and share it in the chat for you, right? And I recommend everyone goes off and grabs this. What it is, it's called the FS2020 control app, or, file, right? And basically what it does, it will export your control settings that you have in Microsoft Flight Sim 2020 to an SQL or Excel or PDF. Now, what do we mean by that? Well, when you download the gadget, you'll find an app, and the app looks a little bit something like this. And what the app is doing here, it's showing all of your hardware that you have already used in the simulator, right? So anything that you've connected to the sim, and it's showing you the profile. So you know the way you save different profiles in the sim, right? So if you were to go back into the sim, and for me, I'll go into my control options. No, I won't. I'll go into control options. So these are all my controls, and I have these set up under various different profiles, right? And I think you're going to want to do the same in Flight Sim 2020. But what this little app does, and it's for free, it'll find them and it'll populate what all of these little buttons do. Really handy. It's giving you some sort of a map. So what I would suggest is, let's say, for example, I want to copy over my joystick. I'll select my joystick from the drop down, right? And in here, select one or multiple. I'm going to select them all. The whole shooting shebang. All of these options. And it's going to populate all of this information over here. And there's lots of it, right? There's an absolute barrel load of it. These are all the controls of the simulator that my joystick interacts with. And you see, what's the context? Well, that's a plane control, or it's a surface control, or it's a camera control, and so on. So you can see here, aileron trim, aileron axes, elevator axes, and it's telling you which button it is. What is actually the button, right? Well, joystick 27 is my rudder trim right. Okay? Brilliant. Now, what you do with this? Well, you can pop it into a PDF or an Excel. And I'm going to show you what I've done. And I recommend you guys do the same. So, over here, friends, over here, I've exported all of my controls. I'm going to disappear my camera now. I've exported all my controls, and I've put them in order as my sim will show them. Keyboard, mouse, gamepad controller. I have a little MyApp gadget down here for a couple of different... you've seen it before. It's the Axe Air little box. My joystick, my TPR pedals, my throttle, and then I've also just put my sensitivities, and I just did a copy paste, like a screen grab, and these are all my sensitivities depending on what it is. So I said, well, that's my TPR pedals, that's the Warbird, and that's the Xbox controller. And I can, if I can't see the thing, well, sure, you can make them bigger or smaller. That's the joys of using this in Excel. So this is what I've done, and this is everything that I have. These are all my controls. So for instance, when I boot up 2024, well, I can go in now and say, right, these are all my current keyboard buttons. Okay? So if I want to do this and say, right, I tell you what, just give me everything that controls ATC, for example. And again, you can go up here. It already sorts this in. So if I just show ATC, this is going to show you every button that I have that's bound to a particular setting of the simulator. Something turned off. Are we still live? Don't panic, my hardware just turned off. Wait, is that going to wreck the sim? Yeah, that's probably after breaking the sim. Anyway, what happened there? Power overload, perhaps. All of these buttons, and if I want to say, okay, well, no, forget ATC, right? I need to find stuff that just controls my drone camera. And these are all the buttons that I have for my drone camera, and nothing else, right? It's a freeware download. All I've done, I've exported each of the controls, put them into a workbook, Excel, right? And if you don't have Excel, it can go PDF, right? It's the electricians that's happening. I don't know what it was, but I think it's after breaking me sim, which isn't good. How do we fix that now? Yeah, it's after shagging the sim, so I'll have to kill the sim. That's never happened before. Jays, I hope this doesn't happen now next week. Hardware just decided to have a bit of a moment. And I'll have to shut down the sim and we'll start it up now again. Anyway, we'll continue on, right? If I wanted to, that's keyboard stuff, right? Like this is super handy, lads. If I wanted to go into something else, why isn't that popping up? Yes, that's fine. Yes, that's fine. Here we go. If we want to have a look at, say, my mouse profile, okay, click on the mouse, and again, what do you want your mouse to do? Well, I only want to look at my external cameras. Again, drop into your drop down and just show me the binds for external cameras, and I can see, okay, the friendly action, or this is like chase lockdown, so that's telling you what the sim is doing. Right click, Y axis, as in that's the up, down, left, or right. Middle mouse wheel click, mid click, right click. It's going through all the controls that you have set up, right? Yeah, you can use, it'll save it as an Excel and you can use Google Sheets to open it, 100%, right? This is super handy. Cyrus gave me a shout on this a while ago, and I was like, yeah. And then now that I have it, I've exported every single gadget of all my hardware. So I know when Flight Sim 2024 comes out, I'm going to have this open, and that's how I'm just going to know, because I'm going to say, well, I used to press this button. What does that button mean? Yeah, helicopter throttle 1 decrease. Okay, or increase cowl flaps, or my mixture. Jesus, what was my mixture? So see the way it's giving you the friendly action? The friendly action is the name and the sim of what it is. The action name is looking at the actual sim connect. Yeah? Yeah, I got a USB device error there. I don't know what it was, though. Something turned on and then it turned off again. Couldn't tell you what it is. I just have hardware here in front of me. You wouldn't know what it was. But you get the idea. So this app, or this little file application, it's the FS2020 control. Again, I'm going to pop it into the chat. If you want to grab it, it's available over on flightsim.to. You just download it. It opens up as a little application, which is this. And you can say, okay, what device do you want to select? Well, like this is picking up my Warthog. I don't use the Warthog anymore, right? Tobii, there's no buttons on Tobii. You know, that's the Moza. I set up them the other day. Keyboard stuff there, mouse. And just be careful because you have different profiles, right? Seems to be compatible with 2024 according to their Discord. Sweet. Now, there's no way to export and re-upload. This is just giving it a readout. For instance, like we can go into and give us a PDF of this, and it'll give you this kind of stuff. If you'd prefer that, I just think it's easier using. Whatchamacallit, Excel, because I have more control over Excel. As in, I can tab everything. They're color coded, and I can say, look, the action name, cameras know. If I want to go into, is it in-game UI? Is it belong to the aircraft itself? Is it the drone? Is it cameras, right? Is it different cockpit instrument views? All the jazz is there, and you can edit everything. Really, really handy. So that's what that app is. Have fun with that one, right? Don't save it. I didn't know anything new. Pardon me. So that's what that app is, right? Next up, and I'm sure you've seen it before, but it's the MSFS add-ons linker, right? I'm 90% certain this is going to work just fine inside of Flight Sim 2024 because it's only a matter of pointing it to the correct folder. It might need an update, but certainly using something like an add-ons linker, you can save different profiles. So what add-ons linker does, it's basically, a directory of saying, hey, show me where all your add-ons are, and I'll link them and put them into your Flight Sim folder. So you could have a whole load of different add-ons on a different drive or multiple different drives, and you can point them all back into the one singular drive, your Flight Sim folder. This is super handy. And then you have things like presets, which is behind me mallet head there. Look, down the bottom left, a preset. And you might say, Murph, what do you mean by a preset? Well, what if I were to say to you, if you only want to fly in general aviation, well, you can now configure add-ons linker to only load general aviation aircraft. And then you can say, I don't want to load airliners, I don't want to load military, I don't want to have all their liveries, I just want to have general aviation. Well, you can do that. You select only your general aviation, turn off everything else, and then you save that as a preset. Therefore, when you want to fly only GA, well, you click the button. The same thing can be done if you're flying in a region with all your custom scenery. Some people have lots, some people only have a few. If you have lots, well, you can put it all into different regions. So up here, I have different scenery folders, and I'll show you the back end to this. But for example, I have Europe. These are the ones I use the most. So I have Ireland, the UK, I have 1 or 2 in Germany, I have 1 or 2 in the Netherlands, and so on. So for Ireland, for example, I click in here. Yeah, this is going to show me which Irish airports I have activated, right? Australia, New Zealand, so I'll call it Oceania. I have a whole load of stuff going on in there. Tons of stuff, because I fly there the most, yeah? Other things you can do is the likes of plugins. So for example, Parallel 42's Flow, all my weather presets. I've stuff there for Aerosoft. I have the Gotfriend stuff. I have the PMS50 GTN 750. It just means that at a click of a button, I can now visually see, well, what's actually running in my sim, because this is important. Depending on the type of flight you're doing or where you're doing it, so here's all my aircraft stuff. So airliners, business jets, choppers, GA, military, prop liners, so on. It's up to you how creative you want to do this, right? How it's getting this information? Well, it's reading it from my folders. So if I go into my PC, right, and this is my current PC, I have a standard NVMe drive for Windows. I have another NVMe drive, that's FlightSim 2020. I have my storage drive, that's a 10 terabyte hard drive. Then I have my new 99 or 990 Pro, that's a 4 terabyte high speed NVMe. And that's where 2024 is going to live, right? Just in there. But for example, in my local drive here, well, this is my community folder. That is my InSim community folder. And you'll notice that everything is, well, it's a shortcut, right? Okay. Then you have your official folder. They're all fine. But then I have this other one called FlightSim Files. In my FlightSim files, I have aircraft, avatars, liveries, plugins, rolling cache, scenery. And then I have this one here called Stream Only. Now, I do streaming, so this is really handy for me. That means I only drop in what I need for a particular stream. And then I can activate it, and then when I'm finished, well, I pop it out of there again. This folder structure that we can see, aircraft, avatar, liveries, so on and so forth, well, that's what the add-ons linker is looking at. Very same, they're the folders, right? So if, for example, you have a number of sceneries, right? And you're going to say, okay, here's my North American scenery pack. And in here I have, well, I've only seen, that's a bad example. Here's the one for Ireland. Okay, so the Irish folder for scenery on my system is in this PC, local disk, FlightSim files, scenery, Europe, Ireland. Yeah? Okay. What I can do with this, apart from just the add-ons linker having it in here, well, I can go one further. Let's say, for example, I just want to have my Irish scenery to work in FlightSim 2024. Well, how am I going to do it? I would want to link this folder to the new My Community folder, or My Library, I think it's going to be called, in FlightSim 2024. Well, how do we do it? Yes, we can use an add-ons linker because we're in total control, or we can just do a, copy, shortcut, and paste a shortcut, and it'll use a shortcut. Another way of doing this is creating a symbolic link. A symbolic link. And you might say, Murph, what are you talking about, a symbolic link? Well, lads, this is important, right? Did I close the shocking page? Symbolic link. Because there's a bit of code required in here. Symbolic link on Windows, right? Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to open up another folder. And I'm trying to remember, what's the location of FlightSim 2020, lads? Sorry, what's the location of FlightSim 2024? If I go into the 994, go into Xbox games, Microsoft Flight Sim, content, packages. I don't think it's in there. Sure it's not. No, I think it's like in your application folder, isn't it? So we'll go into here, application, users, Murphy, application data, or your app data. If you can't see a folder called app data, you just have to make sure you're viewing all files and folders. Make sure you're showing hidden folders. So app data, I think it was local. It will be in packages. Don't worry about this. We'll be doing this on the day of the release of the sim. There should be a new folder in here called Flight Sim 2024, I think. Let's see now. There's Flight Simulator. Isn't there another one, Flight Simulator 2024? There it is. So in here, local state, no. Local cache, no. App data, no. Balls. Where is settings? Where is the community folder in this? In the new sim, lads? Can you remember? I'm trying to remember where it is. Once it's out, we'll find it. As in, we'll know where it is, yeah? Roaming state settings, no. System app data, helium? In there? No. Anyway, it's located somewhere there. Let's say for the pure, utter jazz and misery, we're going to create a new folder. That's easier. So let's go into, I don't know. Let's create a new folder in my NVMe fast drive. So in here, I'm going to call it new community. Oh no, we're going to call it FS2024 community. And what I want to do with this one, this is just for science, right? Let's say, for example, this is going to be the new community folder. When the sim releases, we'll be able to navigate to it, right? But this is going to be the new community folder, okay? Okay. But what I want to do, I want to create a hard junction between this folder and I want to pop it into this folder here. You might be saying, how are you going to do that? There are apps, as Dougal is saying, you can get some apps to do it, right? However, if you want to try it yourself, you could do a shortcut and drop the shortcut in, but it's not the most efficient way because when Windows has a shortcut, it's got to load the shortcut, remember the map, then it'll push it through the map, and it just doesn't work terribly well, right? So if we want to create a new one in Windows, what we need to do is the following. Let's see. How do we do this again? So if we go into command, right? So Windows CMD, and we're going to start typing in some stuff. So it's in the C drive. That's grand for the minute. So we're going to type in, is it MK link? MK link. Okay. Create a symbolic link. Okay. So a bit of jiggery pokery is needed here. And don't worry, I have videos already on YouTube on how to do this in X-Plane, and Gibbo showed us a way on how to do it in Flight Sim 2020. It's much the same, but we're going to try something here, right? So if I want to do, let's see here now. I need to open the graphics to do it, right? Or for the terminal, right? Wait till you see what happens next. If I go into YouTube, because I just need the bit of code, and then I can share the code with you, right? Videos, and it's going to be up here somewhere, and it's going to be over there. Okay, so I just want to copy the link, right? Push that fella there now. So what we need to do, okay, bear with me now, lads. Bear with me. So we open up our command gadget, and we need to type in the following, right? And we'll put in our little addresses and all this kind of stuff. So we're going to type in MK link, but we need to make sure we're in the right folder to do an MK link. Yeah. So this is important. So where is this now? This is going to be, I'm going to link this folder here. So that's in the F drive. Yeah. So we're going to go MK link, and we're going to say, is it F? No, I didn't like that. MK link F. Okay. Bear with me now. Users. Okay, so we're going to go C users F. No, give me the F drive. How do we find the F drive? This PC F. We're doing something wrong here, lads. How do we get to do that again? Use Total Commander for symbolic links. Yeah, there's free stuff you can get. It'll do it for you. But if you wanted to code it yourself, yeah, it should be just F, shouldn't it? Aha, F, right. So the F drive. Grand. That's the first little trick, right? So what we need to type in now, we want to put in a junction. MK link, yeah? // J. That's the first thing. So it's a junction, right? Okay, we're going to do a junction. Now, what we need to type in here now? So we're going to say, okay, space, inverted commas or quotations, and it's going to be this folder here. Copy and paste, yeah. And it's going to be community, right? And we want that to point towards the other one, space, Ireland, D flights and files, copy, paste, close. MK link. You pressed the wrong button, you muppet. MK link. See that? I forgot the K. Watch this now. You'll see it now in a second, right? MK link. Cannot create a file when that file is already exists. Flight sim files, scenery, Europe, Ireland, or community. MK junction. From that to that. The file already exists. Hang on, missing the K. No, we got the K. Essentially, you've always been able to move stuff around. You can. You absolutely can.
Pull the big switch, good buddy.
DeLorean, you're very welcome in. Welcome aboard, my dude. Welcome in, Raiders. Right, we'll try and reverse that so. So, let me see. Copy that. Do we need to go the other way, is it? So we're going to say... Oh, Jesus. We need to go in this way. So we're going to say...
That's a big 10-4, good buddy.
D flight sim files Ireland, and we're going to port it into the F1. I don't think this is right, though. This could override the other one, couldn't it? Cannot create a link. The file already exists. I'm supporting the Irish. Up the air, DeLorean. Welcome in, my dude. Great to see you. Great to see you. Let's just double check my code here. No, I was doing it the right way around. MK link for the J drive. FS2024 community. I want that to be D flight sim files, scenery, Europe, Ireland. IRELAND. Why isn't that working? Do. Let's see now.
They've done
The address
studies,
is correct.
60% of the time, it works
I don't know.
every time.
So I wonder, do I get rid of... That should work. Cannot create a file when the file already exists. Think I need that on the end. Who showed Murph to open the... Wait. It should be a subdirectory. Oh yeah, balls, it should be. I can't just drop it into community. Yes. So if I put in... Sorry, I need to put Ireland in here. Will that work now? Flights in 2024 community. Ireland. No, it's not like that either. Try it now. Junction created. Right. Now I know what I did. Delete that. Right. MK link the drive. I want the new drive. Just listen in on this one. The code I've written, it says Flights in 2024 community /Ireland. That's the folder that I want me stuff to live in. Okay. The gap and where you're pulling it from is the next step. So I want you to take the files that are in me Flights in files, scenery, Europe, Ireland, and you're going to horse them down into the other one. It needed a subfolder. So that's what it says. So I'm going to say, right, we'll pop that in there. When I do, it's now created a junction. So this is my 990 Pro that I showed you earlier on. Yeah. Here's our new FS2024 community, and here's the new Ireland one. When I open that, I'm instantly getting all the files that were inside on the other drive. These files, they now live in here. And if I change something over on the original folder, it disappears out of the new folder because they're linked. And this is why this is super, super freaking handy, because it means you can utilize just one community folder and then you can link it multiple directions. How handy is that? Like, it's super handy, right? I'll go through this again, but look up symbolic drinks or links, symbolic drinks. Look up a symbolic junction or a link. There's freeware programs that'll do this automatically. There's a UI to say, what do you want to put in this folder? It'll do all that for you. What I wanted to show you, well, look, you know, you can do it yourself inside of Windows. And it might look like a whole load of gobbledygook. It is. But effectively what I'm doing here, I'm saying let's make another one for sheer cracking gas. UK. So I want the UK now. So we'll go back in here and we're going to create a new subfolder. We're going to call it UK, right? Now we'll go back into our code. So I'm going to say, right, I want to make a new one. So I want FlightSim 2024 UK. I want to populate that with scenery files Europe UK. Now watch this. When we do that, it should pop in, delete that. It should pop in a UK folder into my new hard drive. Yeah. So let's enter that. Junction created for that. Here it is now. So look, if I now go into this new folder, UK, it's looking at the UK folder. Okay. If you're lost already, I'm doing something right. So a subfolder has to go into the code. Don't create the folder first. Let me retrace my steps. Let us say, for the sheer crack of it, this is now your new Flight Sim community folder. It's on its own drive. Yeah. So your new drive, this is where your Flight Sim 2024 is going to live. And let's say, for example, this is your new Flight Sim 2024 community folder. Brilliant. Well, what if you wanted to link your existing add-ons that are possibly living on an entirely different drive? In my case, they're on a D drive. My new one is on the F drive. Well, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to copy over my aircraft folder next. Aircraft, right? So watch what we're going to do here. We'd open up a command prompt, right? And the code we're going to put in, we're going to say, right, point me to my new drive, which is F. So I put in F. What I want to do, I want to create an MK link, and it's a junction. So I now want to show the following. I want to show Flight Sim 2024 community. We're going to call it aircraft. I want a new aircraft folder in here. Okay. I want that to pull the information out of the following folder. So it's not going to be scenery files. It's going to be Flight Sim files. Flight Sim files aircraft. That's the address. So Flight Sim files aircraft. When I hit enter, junction created. And when I look inside my new Flight Sim 2024 folder, I now have a link to all the aircraft from Flight Sim 2020. Does that make sense? They're over here. That's the original drive they were in. Yeah. But now they live over here as well. And if I change anything where they are on the original drive, my Flight Sim 2020 stuff, if I delete something there, it automatically deletes it on the new drive. They are linked. Does that make sense? This is a very efficient way of linking your stuff. If you're not going to use add-ons linker, do it this way, right? Does this try to reduce the amount of duplicate files? It doesn't duplicate anything. It's linked. So if you delete on one side, it will delete it on the other side, meaning you won't have duplications. All right. So does link shell extension. Yeah, Cyrus, 100%. You can link shell it as well. I'm not very comfortable with getting into all that jazz. Command prompt for me, I can kind of figure it out, right? The idea here is, though, you could do a symbolic link of your 2020 specific folder or folders. Again, we know when the sim releases in 2020 or in 2024, a lot of stuff isn't going to work. So I would be very careful of what you want to try out first. Sceneries should work. So if you want to put in your custom scenery, start off with your scenery. Does that make sense? Have I lost anyone? Hopefully, right? We're all looking at me going, what is this idiot after doing? Anyway, that is a hard link. Again, we'll probably do this next Tuesday if anyone is stuck, because I'll find the actual community folder and then you'll have the proper addresses. And I'm going to say, right, you know, rather than just copying everything over, because a lot of the time you're copying things over, this way here, this will keep your brand new drive linking to existing files. It doesn't put them on your brand new drive, meaning you're not doubling the files. You're not going to fill your brand new drive. You're just linking them off the original one. That makes sense? Okay. Add-ons linker can work, but it depends how well it's going to link it, because add-ons linker is configured to work off Flight Sim 2020. So it's going to be using those folder structures, but it should work. It should work. All right. Right. Wasn't that loads of fun and very engaging? If you delete the folders, they're gone. It doesn't matter. Don't worry about your junctions or any of that, right? So if I delete from the second link folder, it'll keep the first master folder where they... Yeah, no, it will. If you delete on the right-hand side, the left-hand side should be safe. It's a link. It's a link, yeah? Right. Are we ready to move on now to something different? Yes, we are, Murph. Please, for the love of God. Next up, lads, I want to show you something kind of potentially dangerous, but it's a bit of software that I like. It's called CCleaner. CCleaner, right? And what CCleaner is, it is an application. You can get a freeware version or you can buy it. I'm not saying you need to buy it. I like the payware version because it has some nice features here. It keeps an eye on things for you, right? So it does health check, so it'll go off and check what cookies are installed and if there are any trackers and any of that stuff, right? When it comes down to a custom clean, you can point it down to say, well, what you want to clean off my machine. It could be temporary internet files, but perhaps you want to save your passwords for logging in and out of websites and all that stuff. The main ones I'm pointing at here is, one of them is called a performance optimizer. Now, I think this is part of the payware version, but it's like $20 a year or something. I like it. I use this the whole time. It's going to scan your PC and it's going to find out what applications are running and what's the impact on your PC. For example, the Corsair IQ software, which is the greatest loading light ever, but it means I have fancy lights, right? That's very heavy on your resources. If you have Google Drive running, it's the very same. And so on, and so on, and so on. And then they start lessening up. They get lighter, yeah? I have a number of programs that are currently turned off because I don't need them and I don't need them to be running. So I can actually put them into a sleep mode. I'm not deleting them. I'm just turning them off. So Microsoft OneDrive. I don't use OneDrive. I use Google Drive. So I turn that off. Microsoft OneDrive is constantly looking at all your files. It's using your bandwidth. It's using your CPU. It's using your disk drives. It's constantly working in the background. I put it to sleep. I do the same with Discord. Discord will automatically start up even when you tell it not to. Its service is running. You can put Discord to sleep and Discord will only open when you open it up yourself. Any of these files will work. They're sleeping. You activate them manually. All right? Same with Axis, everything. I can put all these things to sleep. And what it does, it means that your PC is running that little bit faster. Okay? Next up, we have a driver updater. Now, driver updaters, this is where it can get a little bit kind of messy, but you can do it'll automatically back up all your files in case there's a problem. When you're going looking for drivers, a lot of people think, yeah, I'll just update my graphics driver and sure I'm grand. No, you could have a ton of other things. You could have audio drivers, you could have Bluetooth drivers, you could have any bit of hardware there's drivers for. So this one here, it's saying, Murph, you need two updates here. Yeah, there's an Intel update and you have another one down here for wireless Bluetooth. Now, you can skip them if you want, or you can just say, look, just fix the problem, fix it, and it'll fix it. It'll update them. And then the last one then is your software. You might be saying, software, this is software. This could be like your Apple iTunes. This could be, well, it could be anything. Other software, WinZip or 7Z or any of those, yeah? Or 7Z, I think it's called. This one here is telling me, look, you've updates available for Chrome, Firefox. You have redistributable Visual C Studio stuff, right? These are important because you need to be running these on the latest and greatest, especially when you have a new sim on the way, right? Very, very important. Where is this now? News in from Mrs. Two-Tone. Bear with me, lads. Limited edition collector's edition, yes. A message to people who pre-order the limited collector's edition outside the US. Thank you for pre-purchasing the limited collector's edition. The special edition is a love letter to you, our Flight Sim fans, and we are heartbroken that our shipping solution for regions outside of the United States have suffered an unexpected delay. To be clear, there is no shipping delay in the United States. Unfortunately, orders for regions outside the US won't be shipped until the first week of December. We obviously realise that you're excited to try out the new sim on launch day, and to ensure that you don't have to wait, we are providing a solution. Microsoft, via an email from Aerosoft, will provide a token to unlock 1 month Game Pass, which will entitle you to the standard edition and provide access to hundreds of other games as well. Microsoft will also grant you the standard to Aviator upgrade content based on the gamer tag you provide to Aerosoft. Please note the following. In order for Microsoft to grant the upgrade content, you must provide your gamer tag to Aerostoff, and if you didn't provide this information when you ordered, you can do so using this website. In order for us to grant the standard to Aviator upgrade content, you need to first play 2024 with the gamer tag you provided to Aerosoft. This will enable us to see your account and then grant the upgrade items to you. We will grant the additional content daily, but with different time zones, it may be a day or two after you start playing the new sim before you see the new upgraded content. When you receive your LCE, you will need to redeem the token included for the simulator so that you don't lose access to the sim when your Game Pass subscription expires. As long as you sign in with the same account when redeeming the token, then all your progress in the simulator will remain. So there's an FAQ there. I'm going to pop that into the chat. It's very important for anyone who's pre-ordered the sim. Thanks to Mrs. Two-Tone for kicking that onto us. And 14 days after you receive the LCD without specifying a reason. So there's you have options here on when to, if you want to remove stuff or cancel orders or so on. All right. Now, we're almost there. Software updates. Then there's other tools and you have options. This has a really good registry editor. Just be very careful in registry editor. Be very careful in reg editor, because if you make a change and it's not backed up, it can make a complete and utter balls of your windows. Be very careful with reg editor. So if you're going in to do, I can scan my registry and it's going to come up with probably hundreds of little issues, because like sometimes things don't uninstall right or drivers put in wrong information and so on. So there's a whole heap of them here, look. So if I review the selected, do you want to back up the registry before making changes? Hell yeah. I'm going to throw it in there. Save. There's 338. Yeah, fix them all. It fixed them like that. Brilliant. So if I do have a problem the next time I turn on the PC, well, I can reload a registry. To reload a registry, you open up regedit, and you can do so in here. You can import your registry file. You click import, you point it in the right direction, and it reloads it back in. The registry editor is like, that's the binary code of Windows. It's very powerful, but you can easily break things. So be careful. Tread very carefully, right? So that's CCleaner. The next thing I'm going to show you, lads, is the Nvidia app. The Nvidia app is now out of beta. This is now a full release, right? Trust me, if you don't know what you're doing, don't go near reg edit. Agreed. But some people will, and they'll get, Anyway, this is all new shampoo, brand new shampoo. It's the new Nvidia app. I used to use the Nvidia Experience. It is bloatware. There is stuff on the Nvidia Experience that's slowing your PC down. It just is. My recommendation, now it's time to jump to the Nvidia app. Gibbo put me onto this. He was the guinea pig. He tried it. He tested it. He said, Murph, it's actually doing what it needs to do. And I've since jumped ship, and this is what I use, right? Some of the new features that we have here are important. For instance, I'm using the installed game ready drivers, right? Game ready drivers, and I can move to different ones, right? There is something super handy about this. Before, if you got a new driver from Nvidia and it just didn't behave as nice as it was, you know the way, oh Jesus, I have the new drivers and like, oh, they're not working right. Well, you had a bit of a rigmarole to figure out, well, how do I fix it? How can I roll it back? With the new app, if you scroll down to the bottom, well, there is a little icon that says previously installed. We can click on the three dots. We can reinstall or roll back the previous driver. This is huge, massive. This is a huge quality of life update. So if we do have a problem with a driver, well, now we can roll it back from within the Nvidia app. Super handy, right? Also, it'll give us details on the drivers we currently have. What were the fixes? What are the release notes? And so on. That's where they all live. Next up, we have a couple of new options, in particular when it comes to our graphics. And I want to talk to you about some options I think you should have turned on, especially when it comes to flight sim. So in your program settings, this is like, do you know the way you used to go in to like the Nvidia control panel? Well, this is a new way of doing it, right? And there are ways to like one-click optimize your games. This now works an awful lot better than what it used to. It's still not 100%, but it's better, right? What I recommend, go into your global settings. The number one rule, you make sure you're running your power management mode on maximum performance. Windows gets terribly Greta friendly all of a sudden, and it turns it all down a little bit, right? If you're running in maximum performance, your hardware is using the full power of your machine. Make sure you're running it in prefer maximum performance. It's not dangerous. Your temperatures and all that won't spike. Just make sure you're running in maximum performance. And I would do that as default in a global setting environment. Yeah. Does the app come with the driver? Yeah. Ducks, when you go to update the driver, it'll say, hey, do you want the new app? Just grab it. Yeah. T's and P's will be fine. X3D, you can't run maximum performance. Yeah, but this won't work on X3D. This is just Nvidia stuff, yeah? Just Nvidia at the moment. X3D, the AMD stuff should demand that they're going to work in... they're using FSR technology and they have something else there as well. But the thing with the X3D chips, like they're... Depending on, you know, is it version 1 or version 2, they're contained under the CPU now, so I don't think we'll have an issue there. But anyway, as I'm saying, prefer maximum performance. The number one thing you need to do if you're running an Nvidia graphics card. That's it. Then you can go in and you can make subtle changes to your sim if you wish. I do the sim settings my way. And then you have different settings. You have this RTX dynamic vibrance. Basically, it's using AI to kind of enhance your scenes. You can play around with all these things. Low latency mode. There's always been a discussion about low latency mode. Should you have it on? Should you have it off? I used to always use it. I've now turned it off. There's no need to have low latency turned on anymore. Not for flight sim. Before, there might have been an issue with your controller inputs to what's actually happening in the sim, but the last update of Microsoft Flight Sim, low latency on my rig, it's not giving me anything. With it turned off, I'm getting slightly better performance. Less stutters, right? Again, power management mode, it's set to the global setup, so that's what it's using there, all right? There's also something new with the app as well, because if we can have a look at this and see, okay, these are all your displays and, you know, what resolutions they're working at and so on and so forth. You can change the resolutions depending on what hertz your refresh rate is, right? You can go into your video stuff, super resolution turned on, high dynamic range if you want it on or off. It won't work on mine because it's linked to what are they called? A stream capture, right? Do you do a clean install with driver updates? I always do, Wombat. I always do a clean install. Another quality of life thing, you know, your Nvidia filters, they no longer get deleted when you do a clean install. Brilliant. No more deleting your Nvidia filters, right? Video super resolution. If you're not sure what everything is, you can just click on it, but that's all AI stuff. You can turn that on or off. The next thing is the performance. This is very important. Nvidia have now included an automatic tuner for your GPU. Basically, it's an overclocking thing. But the beauty of this, because it's Nvidia's own application, this won't void any warranties and it's not going to push your card to breaking point. So you can turn on automatic tuner. It'll find the best overclocking settings for your GPU. And depending on what GPU you have, a lot of them are released on a base. Some of them come with like a factory overclock. There's always a little bit of wiggle room. The good news with this is, if I leave it off for the minute, but I will see me turning this on for 2024. It's an automatic tuner. Now you can mess around with some of these yourselves, right? But the fact that this is from within Nvidia, it's not going to void your warranty, which is great news, yeah? And then you have a look at your rig, you'll see where everything's up and running, what your operating system is, what your driver is, what's your CPU, what's your RAM, what's your storage, and so on and so on and so on. And this is all within the new Nvidia app. This is something you should have. If you currently have Ducks, no, I don't think so. I don't think so. You don't need to be logged into Nvidia. The whole experience thing is gone now. And like if I wanted to open up, how do I do this now? Is it Alt and Z? Here's my Nvidia stuff in here. Yeah. And I can go into my game filter modes and all my game filters. Now, I have no games running, but that's where they all live, right? And you can record. Here's actually something very important. See this instant replay or see this record button, right? Do you want to turn on desktop capture? No. See this instant replay? Turn on continuous capture your gameplay. Make sure that's turned off. Helric says, I don't have the rollback option. Hey, Italian Nang fan, 17 months, man. Thank you very much. I'll show you now in a sec. Make sure this instant replay is turned off, because if that's turned on, that means your graphics card is recording everything and it'll slow you down. Check that setting, make sure it's off. Now, Helrick says, I don't have the rollback option. Go into drivers, scroll down to the very bottom right-hand corner, 3 little dots, it'll say reinstall or view details. Yeah? Because it's going to show you, see down the bottom, previously installed. It's 566.03. Click on the dots, you reinstall. Can you see that, Helrick? Is it there? What else we have? There are your settings, notifications, so on. Driver updates, you can see all that there as well. You don't have the dots? Really? Click on the drivers tab and scroll down. You should have the dots. Otherwise, you might be due an update. You might be due an update. Click on the driver tab and they should appear down the bottom. Yeah. So that's the Nvidia app. And again, you can get into your filters and you can mess around. You can do all this kind of cool stuff. All right. Sweet. Next up, there are some Windows settings. This app is broken, according to Cyrus. It's been running fine for me, man. Maybe the first driver's installed with the app. Maybe. Silly question. How do you do a clean install of drivers? It'll ask you, Johnny. It'll ask you, do you want to do a clean installation? Yeah. Probably only shows what was installed via the Nvidia app. The Blaze, yeah, it could be that as well, yeah. Stuart Snape, I don't have the dots either. Updated the new app and driver yesterday. That's strange. Drop an email to Nvidia. I can only tell you what I have. But if you're having problems with it, I don't know. I mean, I have them. Previously installed GeForce Game Ready driver, October 22nd. That's before I got this app. So, I don't know why it's working on mine. I'm not running the... Are you logged in? Are you logged into Nvidia? Maybe that's why. Just downloaded it, no dots. Okay. Check if you're logged in. Okay, send feedback. Just, there's a button up here, click on it, send feedback and say, hey, why can't I see this stuff? I can only tell you what I have. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, see how you get on. Right, what was the other thing? Oh yeah, Windows settings. This is a right one now, lads. Are you ready now for dangerous territory? In Device Manager, there are 2 Windows settings that may or may not get you better performance, or at least it will reduce the amount of stutters that you get in the sim. We all hate stutters, right? The cache, we'll go through the cache and how to delete that, but there are some Windows settings here that you can try. If you go into your Device Manager, right, I want you to go down to System Devices. There are 2 Windows things in here I want you to disable. The first one is a high precision event timer. Now, what this might do, the high precision event timer, this always created problems if the sim would hang and then it would crash, right? If you disable the high precision event timer, just disable that. If the sim now hangs, it will try and fix it before the application crashes. Basically what happens, Windows detects there's an error with the app. Yeah, that app is frozen. We'll kill it and move on. But sometimes, especially with Microsoft Flight Sim, it needs a little bit longer than 3 or 4 seconds. We've seen some of the pauses I've gotten. They go on for 20 seconds and then it comes back. Yeah. That's controlled using the high precision event timer. Just disable it. You can always turn it back on, but just disable it. High precision event timer. Disable. The next one I want you to have a look at is the Microsoft Hyper-V Virtualization Infrastructure Driver. Right? Huh? The Microsoft Hyper-V Virtual Infrastructure Driver. Right? This is basically a Windows way of saying, okay, if there are virtual machines connected to me, I need to make sure that I'm communicating with them all the time. In reality, what it's doing, it's potentially in your simulator causing some micro stutters because Windows in the background is making sure all the information going out to virtual machines are active. For the vast majority of users, we're not running virtual machines at all. We don't need them. We use our PC and off we go. Yeah. So the Microsoft Hyper-V Virtualization Infrastructure Driver, right click, disable. Don't uninstall it, just instable. Or just disable. Disable, right? Crying in virtual machines. Try it. If you're not using virtual machines, try this and then, restart your computer, Jump back into your sim and then have a look. Let's see what's happening.
Hello there.
All right. Whiskey White, welcome in. If you're using it, well, then you're using it. You don't need to turn it off because you need it, right? If you are not using it, as in you're not running virtual machines, turn it off because you'll see the difference. If you need it, you need it, right? Yeah. Right click, disable. That's all you need to do there. All right? You with me so far? Those two things, lads. On my rig, they have made a massive difference to the smoothness of how the simulator's running. Enablement, right? You can disable it in the BIOS. Try it through your Windows settings first. Monitor what the performance is like. It's not going to give you better FPS. It might, but it shouldn't. But it should at least reduce stuttering. All right. Now, the last trick, we go back into our Nvidia stuff. And Island SimPilot spoke about this the other day. When you download drivers and you do a clean installation, right? This has a fierce habit of installing whatchamacallit? Is it in Device Manager? Nvidia has a fierce habit of installing its own Audio 3D drivers, right? Now, where am I going to find this? It's in here somewhere. System devices. Is it in here? No. I'll find it here now. System devices, Xbox, Universal Bus, sound. Here we go. See this Nvidia high definition audio, right? It's under sound, video game, and controllers, right? Sound, video, and game controllers. Nvidia high definition audio. This is only important if you've connected a HDMI 1 to your TV and you're using your TV's speakers. If you have like your own separate audio being fed by USB, or you're using the, you might have a sound card installed, you've like your 7.1 or 5.1, or you're using Bluetooth headphones, but then you don't need this. And this thing has proven to cause stutters inside Microsoft Flight Sim. It doesn't affect it does affect other games, but this really is a stutter fest when it comes to Microsoft Flight Simulator. For whatever reason, it causes stutters. Why? I don't know. Personally, I consider a full Windows backup before making these changes. Well, I mean, you can, but like anything we're changing here, it's a right-click disable. Now let's test to make sure everything's still working. It's working. So now it leads me to think, what the hell was that turned on for? Yeah? Nvidia high definition audio. If I don't need it, well, just right click it. Creating a system restore point should be enough. Yeah, you could do that. Like we haven't made any changes to like registry editors. We haven't uninstalled anything. We're just disabling one or two things. And when it comes to your device manager, there are three things to disable. And if for whatever reason you're not getting good performance, we should just turn them back on again. Yeah. So I'm going to fire back up the sim here and let's see what happens. Because I've now made a couple of changes. Yeah. Hey, Captain Gaming is here. Good to see you. These for me, lads, in particular, the high precision event timer and the virtual Hyper-V virtualization, they've made impacts on my PC. No two ways about it. They really have, right? And then in your Nvidia settings, making sure that you're set to prefer maximum performance. Huge, right? Huge. Now, we'll go back into the sim. Our last little trick, and I recommend you do this before you install Flight Sim 2024. And it's about deleting the shader cache off your PC. Usually what happens is the shader cache can just become too populated. It becomes messy, and when the sim is trying to load, or if games are trying to load, the shader cache belongs to your graphics unit or your graphics card, but they might be working too well. So, how do we do that? Well, the first thing you do, you need to go into your Nvidia app. Now, you can still do this from the Nvidia control panel, but you can also do it now from the app. Go into your global settings, under System, and see where it has the shader cache size.
Hello there.
I think high precision thing may have been causing CTDs on my rig. Yeah, well, with it turned on. For me, yeah, it made a huge difference. I stopped getting CTDs, right? Anyway, shader cache size. We're going to put this to disabled. And what do I mean by that? It means that the shader cache isn't going to be stored locally on my PC. Now, once you do this, once you disable it, you got to restart your PC, and then you can get in and actually remove the cache files. You can't just disable it and then try and delete them because, well, your GPU is using them. So it's going to say, you can't delete me, I'm in use, right? So you disable the shader cache, restart your PC, and then you can get in and start tidying things up. How do we start tidying things up? Let's say, for example, we have just disabled the shader cache, and now it's time to restart our PC. We've now restarted the PC, and we're going to go into our local C drive, because that's where your cache files live, your Windows drive. So you come down, right click, hit properties, and we're going to click on details. This will open up all the storage. Grand. We're going to go down to where it says temporary files. Now, I've done a video on this on YouTube, so don't worry if this is going over your head. Click on temporary files and unselect everything unless it says DirectX shader cache. And in this, there's only 975 bits. It's tiny, right? So we're going to say, right, select the shader cache, delete those, remove them. Yes, done. But now we need to go a little bit deeper. I want you to open your local disk, go into users, your username or your profile, application data, local. In here, find the Nvidia folder. This is the first bit. This is the first bit you need to do. Nvidia, GL cache, and see this folder inside GL cache? All these, they probably won't let me delete them. See the way they're saying they're in use? Yeah. So I can delete some of them, not all of them, because I didn't restart my PC. Yeah. So ideally what you want to do, you'd be deleting that folder. So go into GL cache and then delete the mad numbered folder. That's the first thing. Go all the way back. Now go into local low. Local low, Nvidia per driver version. This is the home of all your DX cache. Again, you'll be selecting all, delete. It won't delete them all because, well, they're being used. So I'll have to skip. And then all these, like 87 still remain. This would be grand, right? Make a note, Murph. I don't know if you made an audio input swap, but you had an audio plug in bump sound. Do you know what it is, Epic? It's if I move here, it's picking up the static. So listen, you'll hear it. It'll go pop. You hear it there? There's too much magnetic interference on my wireless headset. It's happening a lot. I don't know what's causing it. But yeah, if that was the same sound, Epic, just let me know. But anyway, when you restart the PC after you've disabled your shader cache, you can delete all of these. It'll allow you to delete all of these. The difference what it has, the next time you start up the sim, it might take an extra little bit of time because it has to rebuild all the shaders, but it should give you very, very smooth performance. Butter smooth. There should be no stutters. All right? All right. So let us jump into the sim. And we'll just do a quick experiment now. You know, how smooth is the thing going to be? We'll jump into an MSFS. And we'll jump into somewhere like Bell. In you go, you big Jesse. Make it daytime. And let's see what happens. And you're not necessarily chasing frame rates. Get out of that idea altogether. Don't worry about the frame rate. Because that, like, it's a waste of time. Yes, it's nice to have 60. It's nice to have 100. It's nice to have 200. Of course it is. But smoothness, that's what you want to go for. Make sure things are smooth. Then you can start messing around, you know? You will still get stutters with 60 people in multiplayer. Oh, of course. This is all about giving you the smoothest kind of, you know, normal flight sim thing, right? Like there are certain things, you know, it just can't do. You know, if you jump into if you jump into multiplayer, nothing you can do because the sim is now giving you the stutters. Do you know what I mean? So let me see. Typical summer's day. Things are looking fairly smooth. Let's jump outside. And it's all about how smooth things are. That's pretty smooth. Yeah? I'm not getting any stutters. She's not hopping around the place. That, to me, is as smooth as butter. And we can double check this. We can bring up our FPS counter. Not too worried about what that's doing, but we're getting 109 now, right? And if we look at it, the GPU utilization, it's running nearly 90% of the GPU. GPU is at 60 degrees. Power is at around 320 watts, so on and so forth, right? If we want to get creative and we say, right, come here to me. Turn on the owl system, go to performance, and now I want you to turn on my GPU. Warning, tuning your GPU, change performance, may cause your PC to show visual artifacts. Yeah, go on. Now let's see what happens. Avoid like gaming video. Avoid GPU intensive tasks like gaming video playback. You mad? It's going to find the best overclocking setting. And then it'll say, okay, we've done it, and this is how it's going to work. Yeah? It's at 0%. This could take a while. I've always found that with flight sims, FPS is one thing, but frame times are much more important. Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's see what happens here. If it explodes now, let me know, right? 4090 is a beast of a machine, right? Alright, did it do it? It looks like it did it. Automatic tuning was interrupted. Okay, well, it didn't like that. I'll probably have to do that with the sim turned off. But anyway, what are we getting inside the sim? We should be getting 100 odd frames. CPU utilization is quite low. GPU utilization, the higher you get your GPU utilization, and never be afraid of getting, you know, 100% GPU utilization. That is what we need. We need 100% utilization on our GPU, lads. That's what it's built. That's why we have it. The only reason why we're not getting 100% is because it's bottlenecking somewhere. Yeah? Are those stats from the Nvidia app? Yes. So that's being read from Nvidia. So that's monitoring what the card is doing. GPU temperature 61 degrees. Utilization is anywhere between 70 to 80. FPS is giving me 100. GPU clock is at 2.7. Power is at about 330 watts. Does the job. But you can see how smooth the sim is. Butter. And that's a combination of everything I've gone through thus far this evening. Yeah? And it just means you have headroom now to either start increasing things or decreasing things. When it comes to Flight Sim 2024 on the day, we're going to be going through... See what I mean? It's popping. We're going to be going through the all the settings. We'll figure out what works best and what doesn't. We'll be monitoring things to make sure that our GPU is running the way it should be. We can monitor things like, what's our performance going to be like. Go into here, show me the CPU. We should be getting full activity across the cores. Microsoft Flight Sim 2020 doesn't really do that. 2024 should be doing it. 2024 should be doing this. Yeah? So your virtual cores aren't going to do much. How Microsoft 2020 works, your main core or your single CPU thread, that gets 80% of all the heavy lifting, and then it pushes out other bits and bobs. Yeah? In Flight Sim 2024, a lot of the other threads are using lots of CPU power. It's multi-threading. That's what they mean, multi-threaded. It's pushing the workload onto all the different cores of your CPU, right? Tima, got friends issued a statement regarding 2024 on the Discord. Nice. It takes 30 minutes? Okay. Do I have a YouTube video on all of this? I just restarted, so I didn't catch where the cache were located. Yeah, well, this video is going to be on YouTube as well, Whiskey White. So it's there. The first few weeks, it's going to be a slow lag fest due to them being on cloud servers. I don't know. It's hard to know, JJ. Like, I mean, I really hope this sim is going to release as we're expecting it to. You know what I mean? We'll have to wait and see. I'm remaining confident. I'm hopeful that it's going to be just grand. You know? But anyway, just remember, when you've deleted your cache, when it's all done, yeah? Re-enable the shader cache. Don't forget to turn that back on. So go back into graphics, go back into your global, and go back down to your shader cache size and put it back onto unlimited. And then just exit the app and continue on as normal. If you put, otherwise, every time you restart your PC, it's going to build up all these new shaders. You're going to put time on it. So just make sure that if you want to delete your shader cache, you got to turn off the shader cache first, restart the PC, then you go off deleting the files. Turn the shader cache back on and continue about your business. All right. So what we've covered there, lads, which I hope has either taught you something new, or maybe you've learned something, or maybe you said, you know, I'm going to give this a try. The controller profiles, and again, a shout out to Cyrus. You've pointed me in the right direction. It's a great little app. And now I have all my control profiles. They're on a XL. And I now know, well, that's what every single button, switch, knob, everything does. I now know what everything does in 2020. And I want to make sure that I know what they're going to do over in the world of 2024. We also went through the add-ons linker. Now, I reckon we're going to need an update for add-ons linker. They'll probably do it. Am I using DX12? Fornax, yes, 100%. Cyrus fixed it. Good man. And there I was thinking I'd have a quiet tomorrow, right? But yeah, it's have a play around with it. We messed around with the add-ons linker. Then I went all terribly stupid and did the hard junction. But again, those symbolic links, they just work better than a shortcut. They just work better, right? And it means that keep everything where you want it, and wherever you're putting your new flight sim, we'll just do hard junctions from it back to where you want your stuff. Yeah. You can also use the Cleaner Manager app in Windows to delete the DX shaders as well. It doesn't delete them all though. It leaves some of them there, I think. You know. What else did we do? Then we had a look at the Nvidia app. Your mileage may vary with it, lads, but certainly have a look at it. And then also inside the Nvidia experience, or whatever they're calling it now, right? In this gadget here, make sure your instant replay is turned off. Right? Yeah, JJ, I'll have to give it a try, 100%. The game filters, again, as I said, they're all, you know, if you're looking here, look. I can open up my game filters now. And these are all the different filters that I use. And you can save 3 filters for each game that you have. It deletes them all? Okay, nice. Nice. Thanks, JJ. Now, the last thing here, lads, I have updated my settings over on our Discord. So if you like Discord, !Discord, that's our Discord, right? And in Discord, if you come on down on the left-hand side, come on down to where it has Flight Sim. Go into... where is it? Not add-ons. It's hardware support, isn't it? Look at this hidden. Sim help and support. See that there? It says sim help support. And then go into Murph settings. These are all updated as of last night. My Microsoft Flight Sim 2020 settings and all the Nvidia settings along with it. My VR settings. A lot of people are saying they like my VR stuff, so that's what I use, right? The last bit here is the rolling cache. Rolling cache, I would start getting used to that now inside of Microsoft Flight Sim 2020. The reason being, lads, rolling cache is going to be a prerequisite when you're using 2024. I recommend give yourself a space of 30 gigs. 30 gigs of rolling cache. Here is the final, very, very super shocking important thing. If you're going to be using rolling cache, be 100% certain the rolling cache folder is on your fastest hard drive. Don't dump it onto like your 10 terabyte Western Digital that only does whatever 7,000 things a sec. Like, don't put it there. Make sure your rolling cache is on a fast drive because the sim is accessing that regularly. Yeah. So in 2024, rolling cache is, you must have a rolling cache. Therefore, I recommend about 30 gigs. I think Microsoft were saying 10 or 20, 30 right now. It might go bigger, but just be sure your rolling cache is on a fast drive. If it's not on a fast drive, you're going to be wondering why your performance is slow. All right. JJ Stevens, type clean manager in Explorer. This cleanup. Watch this though. If I select the shader files, I'm going to say, right, I've selected shader cache. Okay. You want to do it? Yes. Now let's see if there's that left in there, because it won't delete them all. If it does, J.J. Stevens from this day forth will be known as a genius, right? Let's see. DX cache, 99 items still remain. So JJ, it was a good effort now in fairness, you know, but there's my Nvidia cache after I've just ran that program, and there are still 99 files sitting there. It deletes them, then rebuilds it. No, because look at the times, man. 1919, 1902, 2221, 1918. It didn't rebuild them. It didn't delete them. Yeah. That's Nvidia. Yeah, it's the Nvidia shader cache. Use safe mode, it does the trick. Well, just turn off your shader cache from inside the different shaders. How often does the shaders need to be deleted? Whenever you see problems, G Slayer. Good to see you, G Slayer. Whenever you see problems. So, are you talking about Windows shaders? I've never had to delete Windows shaders. This is purely from the Nvidia stuff. That's where you'll get the issues in the sim. You know. Or DirectX, sorry, not Nvidia. Yeah, DirectX shaders. That's what you need to do. They are DirectX shaders. That's what you need to delete. These are the ones that cause stutters. You know. Latest Nvidia driver 2024 thingy just give me CTDs and DirectX 12. Fornax, does it? Jesus. I've been running it, man. No issues. That's what I actually have installed there tonight. You know. Lads, look, it's like everything. Your mileage may vary. Every PC is a little bit different. There's whatever permissions, or maybe there's a file in there or a driver or something. Yeah. Like, what's going to work for one may not work for the other. Don't assume for a second that it will, because there's always going to be differences between the systems. I'm just showing you what works on my machine. Your mileage is going to vary. You know what I mean? And ideas that you guys have, well, I'm going to try them as well, right? I mean, maybe there's stuff, I mean, you could be doing stuff, you know? JJ says, yeah, the Windows DirectX shaders, they'll help with stutters too. Once a week. Okay, sweet. Can you run a batch file to delete a startup? Yes and no. You can do a batch file for the Windows stuff. I don't think it'll do it for the DirectX stuff for Nvidia. I don't think. Because you need to turn off the shader cache off the GPU. Turn it off, then you delete them. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, like it's look at lads, at the end of the day, whatever you do in terms of the Windows settings that I've showed you, by right clicking the Hyper-V and also the Hypervision, you're not deleting things, you're just disabling them. If you see a problem, re-enable them, right? Murph, my comment above might give, hang on, Gibbo. If you have multiple, here we go. Sorry, Gibbo. Gibbo says, if you have multiple drives, a good app to know which has the fastest read-write speeds to install the new Sim 2. It's free, and it's called Crystal Disk Mark. Ooh, Crystal Disk Mark. Let's go in and have a look. Man, Gibbo. I hope this isn't a dodgy website. Here we go. Okay. Let's download and see what happens. Is this the right one, Gibbo? What? You're going to pay for it as a free? Free. What's this Teams business? I use it also. That's what I use. You use this? Okay. Standard edition. Okay. Installer or zip. Go for 64-bit. Standard edition. Obsolete projects, no. Where's the 64-bit? Is it the XP, is it? No? Back here now. Standard edition. AOI edition. Key features, important notice. It may shorten SSD or memory life. Uh-oh. Let's see here now. No, it wouldn't be sus. You'd be amazed what some of this stuff does. You can get it here as well. Crystal disc mark. There's loads of them. Accept. Download. Okay, sure. We'll give it a bash to see what happens. Bloody hell. What's this want me to do now? Your download will be ready shortly. Clip in the making. Roy, Murph, do you see me comment about the other? Looking now, Roy. Use safe mode. If you have local low folder, you'll probably find also the Nvidia cache. Yeah, I think that was the old one, I think. That was the old one. The Windows utility one. Right, open this. Read. Okay. Mother of Jesus. Let me see here now. Downloads, I suppose. Extract the devil. Extract the devil. Do-do-do-do-do. It's worth it. I was surprised which of my drives is the fastest. Had to make room today. Okay, but it's a great idea. Right, we'll run the 64. Can't run. Okay. Read, write. What are we looking at here now? Random 4 kilo. So that's my C drive, 82% full. Okay, well, let's see. Sequential read, 1 to 5. Okay, so that's the C drive, yeah? Ah, yeah, I see what you're doing. And you select all your different drives here. Okay, that's pretty cool. So it'll go through it, one by one by one. You select what drive, and you'll get the total answers down at the end of it. Read speed, write speed. That's pretty fast. A read speed of 6400? Jesus. What's the F1 like? Try that now. Read and write speed. Sequential read. Let's see what it does. I was surprised which of my drives is the fastest, yeah. So 65.8, same read speed. That's interesting. Or is each of these the drive? Interval time. Preparing sequential read. Sequential read. I wonder, will it do different drives, I wonder? Oh, the different types of tests. Okay, gotcha. Okay. A great M2 crisis, the Kingston. Read write is 7,000. The 99 Pro should be up around 7,700. It's nuts. It's fast. It should be very fast, yeah. This is a super thing. The link I'm after grabbing this is from here, lads. Again, if you have a couple of different hard drives, find out what the best hard drive is going to be on your PC. Yeah, that's what it's all about. So they're different tests, and then it does write. Okay. Like, I got a 990 Pro just for FlightSim 2024. It's a 4 terabyte drive, so I'm expecting this to be as fast as bejeez. That's the hope, right? That's the hope. But yeah, no, I'll play around with this to see what it can do. But yeah, lots of stuff there, lads, isn't there? Lots of stuff there. Again, if you have any other ideas, if there's other bits of software, if there's other bits of I don't know, kind of, you know, house tidying up or things that you do, well, sure, let us know on Discord. Pop it in on Discord, and we'll have a look at them. You know what I mean? So random read. So it looks like it's done all of this. There are the speeds, interval time, and then it'll probably go into the other one. The disk might be fast, but the internet is another thing entirely. True. Preparing a sequential write. 6,500. I mean, that's not bad. Right, we'll calm it all down. I don't know. There's like 5 tests, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know. 1 gig. File settings default test data. Oh yeah, there are different settings there. Theme, help, languages. Yeah, that looks like a super cool little add-on. We'll have to do that. Murphy, you're a great tidy upper app you use. You made me buy it, sure. Sea Cleaner. Yeah, that's the one I did. That's the one we were showing off about. Sea Cleaner. This little gadget here. Yeah, we showed this one off earlier. Super little gadget. The new Gen 5 M2 is around 14,000. Jesus. Yeah, we need to try that one out for sure. What channel should I put the Windows utility? Put it into the SimRigs one, Roy. That's probably the handiest. I'll have a look at them there then. Right click each for the properties. Turn off all USB sleep features in Device Manager 2. Very good point. Very good point. In Device Manager, you need to tell your computer to, like, don't turn off don't go Greta mode on your friggin' USBs. Yeah. So Universal Bus Controller. Right click. Properties. Driver details. Events. No. Try this one. The hub. Properties. No. Root hub? Properties? Power management. Allow the computer to turn off this device. Absolutely not in a million years are you to do that. Allow the computer to turn off this device. Make sure you uncheck that on all your USB stuff. All of them. And if Windows tries to turn them back on again, well, you got to go back in here to make sure they're turned off. Again, Device Manager, make sure they're turned off. Yeah? Very good point, Google. One of them was actually turned on. Did you see that stupid thing? Look, no. Why is it generic USB hub and it's like power management? Allow the computer to turn. No, shag off. You're turning off nothing. No. We make sure these are all done. Bloody hell, the amount of friggin' stuff I have. That's grand. That's grand. Okay. Pause the device. That's okay. Root hub USB 3. That's okay. That's okay. Windows updates tries to enable them. Yeah. Also keep in mind that the M2 slot where your SSD is installed matters depending on the motherboard. Yeah, it'll depend on the speed. One more reason forwards to text those power management settings and disables them automatically. Which one is that, Dux? Just give us the name. The M2 slot closest to the top of it. Yeah. It's grand. Totally fine. It is called Dux. It's not coming through. It's coming up as 3 stars. But anyway, your rolling cache, lads, just get used to it, and then delete your rolling cache every now and again when you put in new scenery. But get used to rolling cache and just make sure it's there. Spad.next. Oh yeah, that does it as well, actually. Spad.next. When you turn on Spad, if you have Spad, always start the Devil in admin mode. When you start up Spad, it'll detect any USB configuration that's in power mode settings, and it'll override it and say, no, whished. Right? So yeah, let Spad do its Spad stuff. But yeah, that's the story. Lads, we are but less than a week from Flight Sim 2024. Hopefully tonight this has been a bit of an insight. It's taught you something. It's helped you out somewhere. And again, if you have any questions, ramble on over to Discord. I'd be more than happy to help. There are far, far more intelligent people when it comes to Windows and settings and software. I get my information from those people, and a lot of them reside on our Discord. So if you're ever stuck, if you ever have questions, there's so many helpful folks over there, and they'd be more than happy to give you a dig out. So yeah, we're next on this Friday, a group flight. We're going to be flying in Norway, and I'm looking forward to that one. And we'll see what the crack is over the weekend. Next Monday night, we'll be doing a group flight, the last group flight of Flight Sim 2020. And then Tuesday, when my power gets turned back on, I'm going to be going bananas. Bananas, because once the power is going back on, well, we're straight into Flight Sim 2020, yeah? So, again, if you find out any other helps or bits and bobs and all this jazz, I hear the Romans are compatible with Flights in 2024. I tell you, if Gibbo has nothing to do with it, they won't be. Right, lads, thank you all so very, very much. I learned a lot there from your tips as well. And again, let us all help each other out. When it comes to the new sim, when it releases, we now know how to save our buttons. We know some of the Windows settings that should help us along, right? And we'll go through our graphic settings and let's see what we can do. We're going to help each other out, make sure that we're all in a comfortable spot with the sim and everything's running the way we want it to be. So fingers crossed and light a candle. It'll be great, right? Hey, Fly with Nick, good to see you. Just heard 2028 is coming out with decent multiplayer. Nice. Nick, things are looking up finally. Super. Right, lads, thank you all so very much indeed. All our viewers on YouTube for all the follows, the likes and the subscribes. Here on Twitch, we had raids all over the place. Thank you all so very, very much indeed. And I wasn't confused, now I am. Good. Right, bot it again. Jesus, what's going on with the bot? I'll fix the bot before the other thing. It'll be grand. Totally fine. Next week, a stream about how to bot. It'll be fun. Right, lads. See is it's can't allow too because what time do you call this? Why is I'm trying to allow it and it's freaking out. It won't post it. What's holding it? Auto mod. I've auto mod, I've stream mod, I've bloody mods. Dougal has said to Fly with Nick, what time do you call this? And the bot wouldn't let him say it. Brilliant. Right, my microphone keeps popping. Does anyone know how I can fix that? My headphones. If I move, you'll hear the microphone pop. Hear that? It's like electromagnetic interference, and don't say it's me head. It's just something else causing it. How do we fix this one? Hammer, yeah, tinfoil hat, yeah. Great bunch of lads, yeah. Jesus. Real helpful bunch of lads, right? Listen, it's past. Apparently the bot doesn't like the phrase fly with Nick. Get a different cable. For what, the microphone? There's no cable. These are wireless. Oh wait, I see what you did. That's brilliant, Energizer. Bloody hell, I've just been Energizer. Energizered? That was brilliant. Get a different cable for your wireless headphones. Touch your mic and you might get a shock. No. I don't know what's causing it. Have you tried turning it off and turning it back on again? I'm in Europe. Do you need an adapter? No, I don't think so. I've too much freaking electronics here. Anyway, so important, friends. I'm away now to sleep. We'll see you on Friday. Have fun. Enjoy the rest of your week. And Friday, 2000 Zulu. Until then, see you later. Don't worry about it all. Look at the cut of the place. You brought shame on yourself and your family. It's underneath the keyboard, lads. Look. Ah, Jesus.